are you staying for a race today? Leave it all out there. Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. I got a good feeling about today, guys. Do something pretty special today. Green, green, green.
Holy cow! We had the big one to end the race. Oh, we got a giant pack back here. Holy cow!
Here we come. Go, 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 go. Got to be kidding me.
Didn't even make it a lap.
Nice and smooth, nice and smooth. Wow, that was dumb.
And hello everybody, welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway for live coverage of the Ambetter Health 350. I'll be your boy up in the booth, Nathaniel Campbell, joined by Bill Martin once again up here. And Bill, how you doing? How you feeling about this race tonight?
I am very excited for this race. If you watched last night's race, we had some cautions throughout. You know, towards the end of the race, it kind of dragged it out a little bit, but it was a very exciting race. And we saw a lot of guys who are just doing everything they can at the end of the stages to get their cars in front. And I expect that same aggressiveness again tonight. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think out here tonight with the track being a lot tighter and these last two races that we saw on Monday and Tuesday night, it's just going to be a really interesting race, especially with these Cup cars and the way that they build runs. I think the Cup cars are the most kind of run-dependent kind of car, and you'll see the way that they kind of suck up to the rear end of the car that they're drafting off of, and it'll be very quick that it does that. So I think we'll see a lot of that tonight, and we're going to have to see guys kind of think smart in a drafting race here, which is going to be very interesting to watch.
Well, last night we kept saying this is kind of like a little Daytona. And in these cars, it's even more so because last night we saw a bunch of guys having trouble drafting. And those cars that we ran last night just do not like bump drafting at all. And it's so easy to get in trouble right off the bat in them. And it happens so many times throughout the night. So these cars are much better to handle that. You can really just wheel the heck out of the back of the cars, and you're not going to have any trouble. So tonight's race is going to be very fast. When there are wrecks, they're probably going to be pretty big, but I think there's going to be less wrecks than last night.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think these Cup guys will get it under their belts very quickly here tonight. I believe we saw about 11 cautions last night, if I'm not correct. It could be maybe one or two more. But yeah,
right,
it was
right
just about
there.
that double-digit range. But it honestly wasn't that bad of a race. It felt like just out there on track. It didn't feel like those cautions really made it that much longer. It just kind of was another one of those super speedway style of races. And I think here tonight, it's definitely going to be very interesting to see how that kind of dynamic comes in for sure. Gonna look at the weather real quick. Actually, here we got a little graphic for the weather. So tonight we'll see partly cloudy skies, so a little bit of a overcast sky with 66, 67 out there in the air. So the track temperature not going to be too hot. It probably is going to be sitting around maybe 80, 90 degrees, which is very chill for a track temperature. But other than that, 2 to 4 mile an hour winds coming from the east here, or heading out east, I should say. So we'll see a little bit of wind maybe come into play here if it gets up to that higher 4-mile-an-hour range. It's obviously not too much wind, but with these cars definitely kind of having a little bit of a handling difference here at this track with tires being used more, I think that, that will play into a little bit of something there for sure.
What I like seeing is that temperature right in the middle, 66 to 67 degrees. Nice, cool air going into these race cars. Cars love cool air. Yes, this is a simulator, but it simulates real conditions. So that temperature will, in fact, affect the horsepower of these cars. It's not going to be very good as far as the tires go when we go later on into this race, especially on a restart. Coming out cold tires, the track tip is going to be lower. There's going to be some tire spinners. There's no doubt about it. And right there is the trouble spot, that little quad oval. We saw a bunch of cautions there last night, and I expect to see that to be where we have the majority of the problems again tonight. So we have a big field. We had 42 entries, and
It looks like we are getting qualifying underway right now, so
yep.
we'll let them qualify, and why don't we kick it over to the man of the booth last night, Thomas Wolf, as he will do our actual lap around the track segment here tonight. And let's go ahead and see what Thomas has to say about Atlanta Motor Speedway here in the Next Gen Cup car.
What's up, guys? We got Atlanta Motor Speedway for week 2 of the Majors Garage Cup Series. So rolling off pit lane, just trying to build up as much speed as possible without snapping it loose. That has happened before many times. Also want to keep it on that blue line. If you go up above that blue line, then you can get black flag. For turns 3 and 4 here, after you come out, keep it up by the wall to build all the momentum and speed as you can. And dive it across that start finish. Going into 1 and 2 here, you just want to keep it low on that red line. Try to keep it as tight as you can. Let the car float up mid through the backstretch and back low through 3 and 4. And really attack that start finish. And you're across the line for your qual. Just some extra shots here on the hood. Gives you an idea what kind of speed we'll see. And this is without any other cars around. We'll have cars pushing, cars pulling you. There's really not a ton of space here at Atlanta like there is at Daytona, so a lot of action should be present during the race. Cool, so that's a couple laps around Atlanta Motor Speedway. Thank you guys for tuning in and enjoy the race.
He makes it look so easy, right?
He does. But
is he qualified for that job to be the race? I mean, he only won the championship last year. He's very humble about it too. I don't know if you noticed that about him.
He is very humble about that championship last year. It looks like he has not set his lap just yet. It looks like he just crossed the line now to start. Actually, just set his lap. But yeah, our last year champion had a pretty good race last week at Daytona, and is looking to have a pretty good race here at Atlanta as well. We also do have the current standings in points. You see Dallas Pataska up on top of the board with 53 points, followed by Nic Vasquez, Xander Short. Cody Porter, last week's winner, finds himself in 4th, followed by Tyler Bellinger. You also see Ben Lawson, Ray Gill, Stuart Harding-Walker, Boyd Hoggan, and Cody Leach inside that top 10. I believe some of those guys are ineligible for full-time points in this Cup Series. I have to make sure with Corey after, but we'll make sure to get that all sorted out. So you guys know kind of who's all eligible for points and everything. But after Daytona, that's kind of what the points kind of shaken up to be right now. See a few guys like Hayden Higginbotham, another rookie, just outside the top 10. Cameron Albertson, one rookie in the 16th. Jonathan Lager, had a good Daytona, 17th right now. Nim Silva in 18th as well. All these guys with a good race tonight could be up there in points.
God, Ledger had a great run last night. We saw him up front towards the end of the thing, but he had a chance to win it. I mean, he's just a great job he had. And, you know, Nic Vasquez, I was talking to him before, and he has a chip on his shoulder for this year. He was a little disappointed on himself for his bad performance, as he stated, his words, not mine, last year. But he wants the championship this year, and he was strong at Daytona as was expected. And I think tonight he's going to be fast here. He's looking for revenge. I think this is going to be the Vasquez revenge tour.
Yeah, and I think a few news stories we kind of want to go over here heading into tonight that kind of expired from Daytona last week, but also just one story heading into tonight for a driver replacement. Looks like the number 2 factory motorsports machine of Xander Short is going to be missing tonight's race, and filling in for him is going to be Tyler Justice, so he'll have a EOL at the start of this race, so he'll be starting in the back of the field. Other than that, the big story of the week was Backroad Bandit Racing releasing Austin Runkle to free agency and dropping him for James Nesta. Austin's going to move over to the number 25 open entry car, it looks like, in the Cup Series this season, so we'll see if he can try to find his foot into a door somewhere with another team, hopefully, and see him out on track. Obviously, we got chances to see him in the open car, so we'll see if he made the race tonight. I believe he did attempt this race here tonight, so possibly we'll see him. Looks like we have 39 drivers in session.
As you know, buddy, I'm not very strong at my computer skills here, and tried something different, and now I've lost all my screens. So give me just a second here.
All good, Bill. All good. Real quick, I guess, while you're going over that, I know that you kind of have a tough time seeing the starting lineup, so I might as well go over that myself real quick while you're going through and trying to get yourself resorted. So it looks like starting tonight on the pole, number 11, Nishil Condor at Xander Volt Unlimited. He'll put down a 31.192 there to put that number 11 out here on the pole. So he's got a Honda. You said that grocery getter. He's out on pole here tonight, Bill. But Thomas Wolfe, it looks like starting P2 just to his outside in that number 94 Backroad Bandits machine. So a very good qualifying attempt there for him. It looks like they actually kind of tied. It says 0-0-0 on there. So that was a very close qualifying time there together. Dallas Pataska going to be 3rd, followed by Nathan Barros. Joe Wright and Josh Stoltz going to be filling up row 3 with Boyd Hoggan and Cody Porter, last week's winner, in 8th. You'll see William Ransone filling in for that number 16 Hollywood Motorsports machine in 9th. Looks like Stephen Carlisle to his outside in 10th. Row 6 going to have Stuart Harding Walker, followed by the number 3 of Ben Lawson there. Just behind those guys, you'll see Zach Johnson in the number 45. It says top tier still, but we know that's Palmetto Motorsports now. And then next to him, Caleb Tipton. You'll see, looks like Corey Mott just behind Zach Johnson, so two teammates lining up there back to back, I should say. And then another Palmetto driver right there, Vince Mitchell in 16th. So a lot of Palmetto drivers kind of finding themselves mid-pack here tonight. Just behind them, you'll see Justin Bell and Pete Morales in the 99 and the 95, their respective cars. Row 10, you'll see John Connor, another one of those rookies, with Tommy Carroll to his outside. Looks like Cameron Albertson in the number 14, going to be 21st with Mason Hoffner to his outside in 22nd. Followed by Nic Vasquez, last year's Daytona 500 winner, looking to possibly get some factory motorsports up front here tonight. Not a very good starting spot, though. 23rd for him tonight, followed by Alan Phillips on his outside in that number 5.
A lot of tough competition in the series this year, so a lot of these guys are in the back. I don't think the back is going to be a very bad place to be for the first 100 laps, because we saw last night there was some trouble, and when trouble happens, it happens big. So hopefully it won't be as bad tonight. But I'm sorry, but if I'm in this race, I kind of like starting in the back. So we'll see what happens to those guys. I don't have the talent of some of these guys in the back, which is probably half my problem. But we're gonna see what happens, and here we go. We're getting ready. We're leaving the road here in Atlanta, and already we see a granny grocery getter. I said it again, right there in the front. I like it. Then you got the 37 Krispy Kreme car, Joe, right? Gotta love that guy, especially with the donuts all over that thing. I'm retired law enforcement, so you know I'm kind of digging that. That's why I like it. So.
Well, everybody gets rolling off pit road. Looks like we'll see. It says 39 on my SDK, so it looks like we'll have 39 tonight. Looks like some of the open cars and possibly another few guys did not make it, so we'll have to see kind of who's missing next week. Looks like Michelle Condor actually getting an EOL here. So he's going to be going to the back of the field here and will not be our pole sitter for the night. So Pataska will move up and take the inherent pole technically on the inside there. Thomas Wolf will stay on the outside. Tonight's stages are going to be lap 45 and 135 for stage 1 and stage 2. We have a total of 230 laps tonight. 7 extra tire sets out there with 8 in total technically with the ones that they're starting on. Other than that, we have the yellow/red line rule in effect tonight. And last year's winner was Zach Thomas Johnson in that 45 machine, so we'll see if he can try to find his way back into victory lane this year.
I love watching these cars getting ready to line up here to take the green flag. Look at the banking we have coming off at turns 3 and 4. Pace cars ready to come in as they're getting ready to go into the Geico restart zone. Oh, wait a minute. Am I at the wrong end of the track here?
Yeah, we're on the wrong end of the track. We're going through
All right.
1 and 2 here. You're good.
Never mind. I just got my screens all back up here, so I just got into it. So, hey, if this is all the problems we have tonight, then I'll be happy with that. But this is going to be a fun race. It's going to be very fast, a lot of action. Don't look for a lot of passing in the beginning. Yeah, the end of the stages is a different story. They're going to start ditching and grinding everywhere. But now we're getting ready to come off of the corners to the Geico restart zone. You can see the banking as we go through turns 3. Now, last night, Thomas Wolf was talking about how he enjoys being up high. So, we'll see how that works out as far as this race goes tonight. Now, green flag's ready to come out. Barney's ready to go. I'm excited. You're excited. Let's do this. Coming through, green flag as we go. That outside line starting to take a little bit of a jump. Thomas Wolf getting the drive off of the start, going into the corners, getting a little bit of a bump there from Nic Vasquez behind him.
That's actually Barrows in the 90 right there.
Is it Barrows? Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got no sponsors on that car. We know Vasquez runs that black car, and last year I don't believe he had any sponsors on his car in the 500, so I could definitely see how you mistake that there. But it looks like Stoltz lined up third on the outside there, Pataska and Joe Wright on the bottom as they come around turn 4 to complete lap 1 here at Atlanta.
These guys are just absolutely flying. I'm kind of watching the times through iRacing as they go back, and if you look at how close they are, the first 10 cars are within a half a second of each other. Wolf, Barrows, Pataska. Pataska's shown some real talent over the past couple of races that we've watched, and so hasn't Stoltz. We know these guys can run fast. How are they at a long-distance race like this with a lot of G-forces and a lot of just really tight racing? That's one of the questions we're going to have to see for a lot of these new guys, simply because we haven't seen them race as much on this track as some of the others.
Yeah, and I think this track, with it being tight, I think Thomas made a good point in that lap around the track segment where he said that the track is very tight, and I didn't really see a lot of it last night or in the truck race, honestly, but are we going to see some single file racing here tonight? Will these guys try to calm themselves down and get out of that too wide bend? Lawson getting a little loose out of turn 4 there.
Yeah. Oh.
Gotta hold that car.
These guys towards the end of the back really slipping inside. We got one car off the pace here. Noah Spalding. I don't know if he brought the yellow out. We also have Garth Griswold.
Looks like we do have a
towards
yellow
the
out.
back.
Ray Gill is stopped in turn 1 and 2, and that number 66. We'll have to see what happened here. Looks like going into 1 and 2. Oh, just kind of drifts up the track a little bit in front of Stephen Mankey there. Gets turned around as Mankey, I believe, was ready for his car to kind of drift up in the middle of the corner there. And probably just bumped him at the wrong time.
That was one of the issues that we saw last night, the bump drafting. Really cannot bump draft in these cars.
You see a checkup as well in front of him.
Yeah, you really can't see. You can't bump draft in the Xfinity cars. These are a lot different. So, look at how. Yeah, see somebody. That's all it takes right there. Somebody gets squirrely in front, and you got to check up. There's nothing you can do. It happens so fast.
See cars avoiding action. Alan Phillips able to make it out of that. Looks like Stephen Mankey's going to go down pit road. Fix some of that damage. Ray Gill looks like on the track still, but under caution for the first time here tonight. Will we see a lot of these tonight? Will we kind of be pacing here, or are we going to see a lot of guys kind of try to smarten up here and decide that they want to race?
Well, personally, I think we're going to have a couple of cautions like this real quick, and then it's going to just kind of go for a while and everything's going to be fine. You're going to need to survive to the end, just like every race, but it really is survival here. So when things happen here, they happen very quickly, and it takes out a lot of cars, especially when it's in the middle of the pack. So that's what we don't want to see tonight. There are a lot of guys, fast cars that are in the back that I'd really like to see move forward tonight. And a lot of points implications as well. But if you look at some of the times that these guys are running, I mean, Thomas Wolfe in qualifying ran a 31.193. That is 0.3 of a second faster than what I ran. 0.3. Yeah, so that's kind of brutal. That hurts, but that's why he's out front of this race and I'm up in the booth. Some of the new guys, yeah.
A lot of guys choose the bottom. That's kind of what we saw last night as well, and in the truck race, a lot of bottom dominance on the choose. But I generally think that the top line is actually the faster line around this track, with the way that the momentum kind of carries off these corners, and if you can side draft the right way, I think the top is definitely the most viable line around Atlanta. However, with it being very tight, you are also in very imminent danger if you're not in the, I would say, top 2 or 3 cars on that outside lane of being involved in a wreck. So it's kind of one of those games that you have to play throughout the race.
You know, Thomas said the same thing last night, the outside line. That was the faster line last year. So I remember at Daytona, they were running really fast. Everything was running great. And then on the bottom line, and then when that sun went down, it seemed as if the faster line became the top line. So I don't know if that's what will happen here tonight. We're going to have to wait and see. And it's not going to be an easy one.
Yeah, we see on the tower here, just to our left, actually a lot of Chevys and Toyotas up in the top 10. Only one single Ford, and Stuart Harding Walker all the way back in 9th is in that top 10. So we'll have to see if these Fords can try to get their way up as well. Green flag back out here in Atlanta. Thomas Wolfe, great jump. Got to be kind of careful with these.
Yeah, but kind of further on in the pack, I did see a bunch of cars spinning some tires, so that's not a good sign.
Boyd Hoggan with a run on the outside here in the 96, followed by last week's winner Cody Porter. They're going to have a run on the outside and possibly take the lead, and it looks like they will take the lead clear into 3 and 4 is Hoggan.
Watching further on back in the pack, seeing how exactly everybody's swerving around, seeing what's going on, and some of these cars in the back are having a little bit of trouble staying side by side. I don't think tire wear could possibly be an issue this early on, but they're struggling in the back of the pack. So I don't know if that's a setup thing. You see one guy there, I think that's Jonathan Ledger. I think he's fallen back on purpose just trying to stay out of some trouble. He saw what I was seeing, everybody swerving around, and he didn't like it.
He's chilling in the back right now with, it looks like, Jim Mott, Nim Silva kind of back here. See other guys like Stephen Mankey was involved in that last wreck. Trying to hang out in the back. Move here by William Ransom in the 16 down to the bottom. Looking to lead a line here.
Some of these guys are really pushing it towards the middle, and man, I don't want to see a big wreck in the middle of the pack because that'll take out so many cars. You see him coming through that little quad oval there. Everybody's pushing each other. Coming off into this corner, they're hitting off, oh boy, about 190 something miles an hour, and we almost just had a big one.
I believe we have 3 wide. Noah
Vasquez.
Hamilton stuck in the middle. 3 wide here as they exit turn 2. This is going to be tight going into 3. Can they hold it? Vasquez clears. It looks like we are going to be good through 3 and 4. Jason Hoffner kind of stuck on the outside here. Can he get in front of Vince Mitchell? He does, and they will sort it out there in the back. That was very close there to a wreck.
Now, we're only at lap 12 out of 230. I think it's a little bit too early to go 3 wide right there. But, man, that made me hold my breath. And Thomas Wolf has fallen back to 6th right now. He kind of did the same thing last year, if I can remember. Kind of just chilled out for a little bit and then came back forward towards the end of this thing.
See, the inside line has formed back up. Wolf is that 3rd car on the inside. William Ransone, Nathan Barros, the first 2 leading that line. Outside line, you see Boyd Hoggan, Cody Porter, and Stephen Carlisle on the 81 there. The Ethics Racing team. Had a kind of quiet Daytona. Looking to bounce back here in Atlanta.
We talked about Hoggan a lot last race, too. He's very fast, and he's usually out front. Porter is another one. He won the big one last week, and these guys have just, from where they started, they seem to have easily been able to move their way forward.
Yeah, and he's taken the first 2 races of the truck season this 2025 year.
Yep.
And looking very strong on these drafting tracks. We'll have to see if he's able to keep that momentum rolling as the truck series has a off week, as the next 2 series will go to Austin next week, and then we'll head to Phoenix with all 4 divisions of racing. So ARCA will be there as well. It's going to be a fun week that week.
Starting to see that outside line really form up nice, and as everybody talked about earlier, the outside line is that preferred line even in the beginning of this race. So look how nice it formed up there. It's kind of graceful how they're just sliding. You can tell they're just chilling out there and they're not really pushing it, but that bottom line seems to be struggling just to form up to keep up with them now.
It does. I don't know if it's maybe they're trying to push just a little too aggressive. They kind of just need to chill out a little bit and they'll be able to stay more in line. And honestly, you kind of realize that you're more patient at these types of tracks. It makes no sense. You're going 190 miles an hour plus, but patience is kind of the key here. And you see them starting to form back up there on the bottom now.
Looking back further in the field, John Connor trying to work his way forward right now. He's way back towards the middle of this traffic jam, still running just over a half a second. He's in 14th spot, just over a half a second from first place right now. So some of these guys in the back are really holding on, chilling out. Look at some of the names we have back there. Corey Mott, Nic Vasquez, Noah Hamilton's always fast no matter where we are. Mason Hoffner is fast. The Grizzman himself, we love Garth, man. He's quick no matter where we go, too. But there are some big names towards the back that we normally see up front. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of them.
Even a guy like Tyler Bellinger, who we saw last week finish in second, leading laps there at the end, he's kind of chilling in the back of the field right now as well. He'll kind of see him all the way back in 27th, it seems. Honestly, with about, 26 laps now here in this first stage left, I think they're kind of chilling right now. They know it's not really go time just yet. I think you'll see kind of go time maybe around 10 laps to go in the stage, and we'll have to see if those lanes actually do start moving, because obviously being gridlocked like this 2x2, it's kind of hard to pass.
Well, we saw one car last night making his own lane going 3 wide with an unbelievable move to win, come close to winning the stage, I should say.
3 wide for the lead here.
It is, and that is
Ransom
not what I...
shuffled out, it seems.
Yeah, with 3 wide further on in the back, too. One of the granny grocery getters of Logan Greisbreck is kind of stuck in the middle further back in the field. It's getting ugly. Everybody's starting to move around a little bit too early, in my opinion.
See here, Noah Hamilton, Michelle Condor, middle 3 wide. Hamilton trying to get back down. This is going to be very tight to try to do that. He finds his spot back up on the high line there in front of his teammate, Michelle Condor. Michelle also kind of chilling in the back here. We saw him have the actual pole here, but had an EOL at the start of the race. I don't know if that was for cutting the apron in his qualifying lap, which could have possibly given him the pole.
Yeah, who do we have in race control tonight?
We have Sam Bennett up in race control tonight.
Sam Bennett, all right. Because I know Corey was pretty busy last night.
Oh yeah, definitely a busy race control race for sure.
Now, if you can, why don't we go in? Let's go in car with somebody further on in the pack, show everybody just how it is and how crazy it is. Right now, I'm riding with Boyd Hoggan, and he's out front where it's nice and clear. But if you go further on in the pack with somebody right in the middle
fill-in
of it.
driver for Xander Short in that 2 car. He's starting to work his way up. Let's go ahead and see what he's kind of seeing. See Nic Vasquez just in front of him.
Gotta love that outside lane. Yeah, those guys are just riding nice and pretty on that outside lane. It doesn't even seem like they're putting in any effort at all at this point. Nic Vasquez, you see in the Ducks Unlimited car, he's chilling out. Don't know if he's going to try to make a move. Maybe he wants to get up a couple more positions just to try to get some points, but he still has 5 positions to try to make up. And you know, Atlanta's one of those tracks, in my opinion. Yeah, you want to win the stages, I get that. You want to get the stage points, but is it worth risking your entire race? You know what I mean? I think a better finish is better than, you know, getting stage points for 1 or 2 extra wins for one stage and then being knocked out of the race for the rest of them.
Oh yeah, I think at least this race for sure is the one that you want to finish. I think the one in the summer, you can kind of go for those stage points there and maybe put your car on risk, especially because you'll know more of what the playoff outlook is going to look like by that time. But right now, I think you just want to get as many points as possible in the regular season standings and get yourself good there before you kind of start junking cars up.
Nathan Barrow's looking really strong right now in the 90 car.
He is. He's leading the inside line.
Inside line, and he doesn't look like he's trying too hard. Now he gets a little push from the Wolfman himself.
3 Chevys lined up on the bottom. Could be a little bit of a manufacturer lineup.
That was one of the questions I should have asked last night with the guys, if being behind the different manufacturer hurt them or not. I know those cars are tough for the bump drafting to begin with, but you know, how much does that really make? And with these cars, does it make much of a difference?
I think it does, with the way that their front ends are definitely shaped. Especially with the Chevys having a pointy front end, it makes it a little bit harder to line up the bumpers with the Chevys, I would say for sure. You actually have some lap traffic coming up, and this was the problem the last 2 nights that the other 2 series kind of faced, was these lap traffic. It looks like all of them are going to drop down to the bottom here, and the field should be getting by pretty cleanly.
We got one more car. Who's that in the 66 car right there?
Ray
That's
Gill.
Ray Gill. Get down, Ray Gill. And this was a very trouble spot to try to do that with. There he goes, getting out of everybody's way. He was in a tough spot. He was in a lose-lose situation. If he got off the gas too early, he wouldn't have been able to make it around the flat line of the track. He would have slid up into the traffic, so he kind of had to stay on the bank just by how much speed he was carrying. So good job to him and good job to everybody to getting around him.
And Thomas Wolfe takes a jump from that down to the inside line from, I believe that was second in line now to that lead car in line. And looking to take that inside line to the lead. He's trying to battle with Porter and Hoggan here on the inside. Barros trying to stay locked up with that 94 rear bumper, but looks like they're kind of breaking up here and there. It's pulling them back just a little bit from that outside line. Now, huge run here as Hoggan and Porter go into 3 and 4. I think you'll see these guys definitely testing out a lot of these runs as well here for later in the race. Definitely testing where you want to be positioned, especially if you know that you're going to be in a good spot by the end of the race to keep that car pushing and kind of save those tires enough to where they usually won't go too bad on you and you can just go full bore here. I think that's what a lot of this testing is here in this first stage, with it being a lot shorter as well, 45 laps only.
Now, it seems like the 94 car and the 90 car are struggling to move forward, especially coming off of turn 2. I'm wondering if they're coming off that straightaway with so much speed that when they enter the corner, those tires are holding on so tight, it's just scrubbing off speed. Now that I said that, they come through the corner extremely quickly, and now Wolf is taking the lead in this thing.
He is down to the inside, and they take the lead. Thomas Wolfe clear of Hoggan right now for the second, but here comes that run on the outside once again.
Wolf trying to do that little side draft to try to slow the momentum down on the bottom line, but it didn't seem to work, as now Wolf, Barrels, and Pataska have taken the top 3 spots.
Pataska slides up in front of Hoggan. That's going to allow the inside to start pulling away just a little bit more still, as Barrows and Wolf are locked up bumper to bumper right now. No bumper linking rule in the Crown Jewel Racing League, so these guys can tandem as long as they want.
Whoa, Ben, that was bad right there. That was really close from being a big one. Those cars in that outside lane got really squirrely coming through that quad oval, whatever you want to call it, and they almost took out a lot of people. But now, look at the head of steam they have coming down that back straightaway. They're doing everything they can to catch up there, and they really can gain a lot of momentum coming off of 1 and 2. Let's see if they can gain anything here. That bottom line, though, right now seems to be pulling away.
11 laps to go here in stage 1. Thomas Wolfe currently out front. You see Dallas Pataska trying to lead that outside lane to get another run here, but it's a 4-car breakaway right now. Josh Stoltz is that last one in the 43. Looks like Joe Wright having a good start of his race right now in that Krispy Kreme machine. Up to 3rd in that WRL Racing number 37 Toyota. And looking pretty good right now.
If you remember last year, he finished sideways in 2nd position, and he came out of nowhere, and just what an awesome race he had here, and it was a great one to call. Kind of wish he was able to pull it off. I'm looking forward to seeing that 37 in victory lane at least once this year.
I think he can get it done, honestly. I think he's just got to kind of focus in and get that skill, because he definitely has it. To win these races, he's just got to focus in and actually get that luck as well, because winning races is definitely, it comes down to luck a lot of the time. It's not going to be a runaway win for a lot of these races, especially with the way that green white checkers kind of play out. You just got to find yourself in the right position at the right time.
There was a couple of races last year where he came in 2nd sideways across the start-finish line. two of the closest races we had last year from what I remember. Could be wrong, but I believe it was.
You see a second pack kind of falling away from that main pack of cars there. It looks like from 11th on back. So 12th right now is Vince Mitchell leading that inside line. Mason Hoffner chilling there on the outside line. These guys may be trying to conserve their cars and not wreck here to end the stage, it looks like. But it looks like this battle for stage points is going to be between these top 10, top 11 cars in this first pack here.
Man, if you look at these cars, how close they are together, Barrows is right underneath Wolf as they push each other down the back straightaway. You know, it's so much fun to watch these guys. You know, I love iRacing, and I do okay. You and I have raced together. I'm not the greatest. I don't claim to be. But when you're watching guys who are just really, really good at it, it's a lot of fun. And it makes you appreciate it, how the talent that they actually have. And, you know, who knows? We could see one of these guys in a race car someday. And we've seen it before. Was it William Byron? Do you ever hear of that kid?
I don't know.
I think he came from iRacing. You know, there's been a few of them over the years, so I'd love to see it. Cody Leach is one guy I would love to put Cody Leach behind the wheel of a real car. Love to see what he can do.
We'll have to see if that is in the line for him at some point in the future. But right now, 5 laps to go here in stage 1. These top 10 have broken away about 4 seconds now from the rest of the field. They are gunning it right now compared to everybody else.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of talent in that front group right now, a lot of fast talent. And these are the guys that we usually see towards the end of every single race. But one car that impressed me, look at that 22 car, Nic Vasquez. Look where he is right now. He's up to 9th position. He started way back in the field.
23rd and up to that top 10 right here at the end of this stage. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. And it doesn't seem like he's in too bad of a position with these top 11 cars. They seem pretty consistent with what they're doing. We'll see if they start breaking out as we get closer to the very end of the stage here. Now 3 laps to go.
But Nick is really wants the championship this year, and every point counts. So he fought his way, clawed his way off. Now he's inside that point bracket, which is going to help him. He's second place in points right now. So love to see him keep going. I love the drive we're seeing out of him this year.
These guys just killed one of our cameras. I don't know why the camera crew decided to put one right in the middle of the track. That wasn't the best idea. You see now 2 laps to go here in stage 1. Coming to the end of the wire here. Thomas Wolfe, Nathan Barrows, Dallas Pataska out front. Here comes Joe Wright on the bottom.
These guys really pulled away from that second pack. It's almost as that second pack are pulling boat trailers or something. This first pack right now you're starting to see him fight a little bit more. That bottom line there got really squirrely through that section.
Here comes a move by Pataska.
What you want to see.
Down to the bottom, side by side, out front now for the lead.
Both Barrows, Pataska, Hoggan, they're all going for it hardcore after they go off into turns 3 and 4. Right now it's Pataska towards the front, that 17 car.
And coming to the line, Dallas Pataska going to take home stage 1. It looks like the battle between Vasquez and Stoltz was that last spot for stage 1 here. Obviously, it's kind of interesting at these super speedways the way that the stage works out. So it's kind of unofficial that the top 10 is there, but you see Pataska, Wolfe, Hoggan, Barrows, Ransone, and then Porter, Joe Wright, Stuart Harding Walker, Nic Vasquez, and Josh Stoltz is that top 10. So depending on however it actually kind of was when they crossed the line will be how they end out in stage 1, but that's how they're going to be going down to pit road here. Most likely, because I believe we're going to see some pit stops. I think it's about 55 laps in these
50 laps. Yep.
These cars.
Now last night guys were saying the maximum amount of laps you can go was about 60 laps on 61, 62 laps on a full tank of fuel and tire run. We saw, and I'm sorry, I apologize already. His name escapes me. He was up like 26 positions. I think he finished second. He was from Montreal, and he had stretched his fuel mileage out 11 laps. It was a very impressive fuel saving effort for him, and I don't know if we're gonna have to see that tonight.
Yeah, we'll
Maybe
have to
that.
see. I believe that was Sylvain Jolly last night.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. I could not remember his name.
But
He was from Montreal, and he had that nice French accent. Kind of sounded like Jacques Cousteau when I was a kid. I loved it. Looking forward to seeing him win a race this year.
But yeah, let's go ahead and step aside real quick. Then we'll go ahead and interview our Stage 1 winner of Dallas Pataska. Hopefully, real quick, we can get back in time.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Majors Garage crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody, anybody, really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
You know, I'm excited. That was quick. That was a fast stage one. These guys are very comfortable. I don't think anybody's pushing it too hard. We saw a little bit of shuffling towards the end of the stage, which was kind of predictable. We haven't really seen anybody make any crazy moves yet. A lot of guys have come forward. Very impressive run so far by Nic Vasquez. He's already up to ninth. We keep talking about him. Cody Porter, last week's winner, he's right up in 6th position right now, and he's kind of in the middle of all the mess. I've seen those cars, that top 10 at the end of that last stretch were really pushing each other hard. So as long as they push each other hard like that towards the end of the stage, I think everybody will be all set.
Something I just noticed there on the tower is that Cody Leach was not in the session to start this race, so he is scored 42 laps down right now.
Ooh, getting ready to come for that green flag. Here we go to the Geico restart zone. Real good start by both lines right there. Pataska on that outside line seems to have a little bit more momentum as they come off into turns number 1 and 2. See that outside line just creeping forward just a little bit. Ransom trying to fight back. Hoggan on that outside line. Barrels, Wolf, Porter, right. Vasquez now has moved up a spot already. Going off into turn 3 and 4. It's definitely that outside line that seems to have the momentum through the corners. Coming through that quad over. See him right there going back and forth. And when you get a good lead like that towards the front, you can kind of beam and wob to where you want to go. But it seems like right now Pataska is enjoying that bottom line.
He does. He moves down to the bottom there in front of Hoggan and Barrows. Looks like Cody Porter 4-car breakaway with them as they're starting to pull away from the side-by-side behind them. Nic Vasquez leading that outside line. William Ransone, that other car on the bottom there, you see. So just trying to sort it out, it seems, as they get underway here in stage 2. We got a long stage here, 90 laps in stage 2, all the way to lap 135. So it's kind of a waiting game to see if we have a caution for pit stops, and if not, are these guys going to have green flag pit stops? And then that's really the danger zone of when a caution does come out, is guys are going to be trapped laps down there. So it's going to be a huge waiting game. Ooh, big slide there out of the background. I believe that was Stuart Harding Walker. It is, just in front of Stephen Carlisle.
Yeah, he got real lucky just there. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened to him. I don't know if he got bumped to that area or not. Yeah.
Still going up and down the track. He might be having a little bit of an ill-handling race car right now. Gets up to the 22, though, and gives him a little shove. Got to be careful doing that in the middle of the corner. It's a little bit easier with these cars to do it in the middle of the corner, especially if you know what you're doing, and especially if you're pushing a guy that knows what he's doing getting a push. And I would say Vasquez is definitely one of those guys. So it's can be useful very, very much, but got to be careful for sure.
These guys have raced with each other many times before, so they know each other well. As Vasquez looked like he was going to get to the middle right there. Man, that was a lot closer than I would like to see this early in the race. And
yeah, me too. That was very close contact.
Really,
Vasquez very slightly tapped the back end of Garth Griswold there as they entered turn 3, able to all hold their cars, and they keep it going. Could have been a huge moment there in front of all these other cars, though.
Right now, I'm going to stay with this pack. Looking up front, too, you see that 94 car sitting pretty, being pushed by the Donut Man, Joe Wright himself.
You see the top 4 fully breaking away. Yeah, they're gone right now.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching this group in the middle, and some of these guys are having a really tough time holding their lines. We just saw the 2 car almost go up and touch the wall. Can't be a tire issue. I mean, they just had pit stops. None of these cars stayed out.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just a they're side by side right now, and these top 4. Oh boy, that's a big slide for Garth Griswold there.
Man,
everybody collects it.
Really lucky. Hang on to it, Garth. Come on, buddy.
1 car in the wall. That's Stephen Carlisle out of 2. Hold it together, boys. They're going 3.
Going through what seems like he's staying up high, so everybody's going to be okay. Little pack there in the middle doing a little bit of Blue Angels flying. I don't know how they kept it together. 1 car there we just saw drop way below the double yellow line. Don't know if they were trying to avoid something or not. Not quite sure who that was.
Yeah, got to be careful with that line, especially if you're advancing positions. We'll get a black flag for not giving that position back, or if the race control catches you advancing your position underneath that line, you will get a black flag. If it happens on the last lap, you get moved to the end of the longest line, which is the end of the lead lap, basically.
I'll tell you what, they didn't take long for these top 4 cars to just wave goodbye to the rest of the field. Now you see them almost a second lead going back.
4 seconds now. It's
4 seconds,
going,
yeah,
it's going big time.
Yeah, my old man eyes didn't quite see that whole thing, but not a bad thing. I mean, this is ideal for these 4 guys. Just sit there right around together and let everybody else wreck and take each other out. So, perfect thing for them. Not so good for the rest of the pack, because these guys will catch the rest of the pack and start lapping people. Won't take that long.
Yeah, I don't think it will. These guys out front are definitely just going to stay single file and try to keep running away from the rest of the field. I think a lot of the battle is going to be right here. Yeah, Nic Vasquez going middle 3 wide here. Got to be careful doing that.
Well, great job by those guys. I think Nick tried to dive down like that in front of the other car, just didn't have the momentum and kind of backed out of it a little bit to avoid a wreck. But luckily, he manages to save it. Now he's going to try to get that bottom line to run. And Nick is one of those guys that's fast no matter what lane. And if anybody can get up forward, it can be him. No.
Laps are just ticking away here in stage 2 already. 17 laps complete. So
That
this
didn't take long at all.
could be a good thing for these guys. I don't know if they really want to be, 5 seconds back from the top 4 leaders, but
That you don't want to be.
these laps are ticking away.
Even getting faster, 5.888 seconds now.
Yeah, and that just keeps growing now. Yeah, now they're 6 seconds above. It's still going.
Man.
These guys are able just to run away, staying in one line. The side-by-side really kills the rest of the momentum for the field, but here comes another 4-car breakaway now. They might start pulling away from the rest of the field.
Yep. But now you see in that lead, those top just growing 6 seconds in about 10 laps. They're going to be close to getting the back of the pack.
Oh boy, and we're actually going to see a caution
comes out. Let's see if we can find out where it happened.
Turn 4. I saw something there.
Was that Josh Stoltz might have been involved in that?
Looks like Jim Mott was turned around in one of the corners. It's hard to tell where this is on the track. Looks like that's turn 2 actually. And just couldn't get that car refired, stuck on the apron. And caution will come out.
Yeah, it looks like he got hung up, so he could not move on that, which is never fun.
I think our replay system just broke there, as I don't think that stinger transition played, but it looks like some pit stops going on. Boyd Hoggan going down pit road. I think right now is going to be a good time to go ahead and see if we can talk to Dallas Pataska, our stage 1 winner. Let's see if we can find him in the server. If not, we'll try to find someone else. And the search is on. Can we find Dallas Pataska? I have not seen him in the server, so let's go ahead and talk to someone else. Let's go ahead and talk to Joe Wright. He's in second right now. I know he's probably feeling pretty giddy.
Mr. Smooth.
Hey there, Mr. Joe Wright. It's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
We can. How's your race going right now? We see you down in second.
It's pretty decent. I can't really complain. The car feels great. WRL boys and the Catnip Motorsports boys put together a nice little package today. Teammates helped me with some setup, so I can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a kind of a 4-car breakaway there as you guys were all battling in the back. What were you kind of thinking about that? Is that going to be kind of a thing that comes into factor maybe a little bit later in the race as well when these guys are kind of battling out? Are you going to try to look for a single file line and try to break away?
I'm aiming to just try to stay as clean as possible for about another 160 laps, and we'll go from there. To be honest with you, I would like to stay low to avoid any issues in case it happens, but that's where I'm going.
Pass it over to Bill here, see if he's got any questions for you.
Yeah. Are you seeing a lot of tire fall off? How drastic is it, and whereabouts does it start to happen?
I mean, I could tell you about my tire fall off, but that's right now classified G48. So, my tire wear is pretty decent. I can't speak for anybody else's. The fact that everybody burnt into the pits just now after we had a short pit stop not too long ago was kind of concerning. I think it's too early to try to play fuel mileage.
I don't blame you on that one. It is very early for that. If you ask me. Are you gonna win this thing tonight? Can we get a guarantee on this?
Remember how we always say, if it's a track before a road course, Joe Wright puts on a show. Let's see if we can keep the tradition going. I'm gonna knock on some wood, and we'll hope for the best.
Hey, if you're gonna finish it, at least finish it facing forward tonight. Lights are off, buddy. Get back to work.
As always, the play. Got no other choice. Do work.
Yeah, good luck. Hopefully, we'll talk to you at the end of this race.
Thank you. Hope so too.
Definitely, definitely pretty giddy right now. I think he's trying to keep it calm though. He knows that it's a lot longer to go, and just got to keep that car under him. I think he said a good point there. Just keeping that car clean for the next 100 laps.
Yep.
That is that's definitely a huge thing. The pace car pulls off into pit road though. How's Pataska gonna lead us to green here? Back on that loud pedal, and we're green here in Atlanta.
A couple of guys spun their tires a little bit further in the pack, kind of caused a little bit of gridlock, almost caused a wreck. Luckily, we got through it though.
And
Everybody seems to be settling down now, yeah.
Zach Johnson, last year's winner, up to 4th.
Yeah, always dangerous, Zach Johnson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars now lined up by themselves on that bottom line, really starting to pull away a little bit. The bottom line is definitely the preferred line by that group.
It seems that way right now. I think it also does kind of move around during the race. I think the bottom for sure is that safe line to just make sure that you're getting laps done. It also technically can be the fastest if you are single file, because it is the shortest way around the track. So I think it's kind of one of those double-edged swords where when you're in traffic, you kind of want to be in that high line because you'll be able to carry the momentum. And then when you're solo file like this, definitely kind of want to be on the bottom. And it also saves tire as well if you're thinking about it at this type of track.
And, you know, I tried to get out of him how long before the tire fall off, and yeah, he shut me down pretty quick there, didn't he?
He did. I think that is definitely some classified information that some of these teams want to kind of keep to themselves.
I tried.
I understand it.
I tried. Oh, boy, now look what we have now. We have a big old Polar Express train coming down that front straightaway. Maybe it seems like, I don't know, maybe with newer tires, everybody's like staying low, and then when they get a little worn, maybe moving up. I don't know. It just seems as if right now the roles have been reversed because Pataska is just leading the way at this point.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good in that Chevy out front right now. Got help of a Toyota, then another Chevy, another Toyota there. And you see a Ford in 5th, so finally a Ford has made its way into the top 5. But I think they're still outnumbered here in the top 10. Yeah, it's not really looking too strong for the Fords. Pull up real quick, you see just 2 Fords in the top 10. A couple right outside the top 10, but the Ford's not really showing their strength right now here at Atlanta. It's really dominated by Chevys and Toyotas at the moment.
Not one single Honda. Just want to point that out.
Well, actually, technically one Honda in the top 10. Show Condor right now chilling in 9th right there.
Yeah, we're having fun with those guys. Initial very fast every time we see him, especially last couple of races. He seems to have like bad luck. He always gets snake bit at some point. I really expect to see him win one race this year. I believe he has a talent, and he's definitely fast enough.
Yeah, I think he has a shot. I think a lot of these guys have a shot as well, honestly. And honestly, one thing I guess that we didn't really touch on last week is the rookie battles. We have 12 rookies in this series full time this year. And last week we saw a rookie win the 500 in Cody Porter, even though we kind of don't really call him a rookie, but he is a full-time rookie in the Cup Series this season, so a huge achievement there for that 0-4 team. And
calling
also,
him a rookie.
Moonshine
Calling him a
Motorsport.
rookie is like calling me in shape.
Oh boy, we're going 3 wide here. Looks like Carlisle was left out to dry there on the outside.
Whoa, man, not too fun to be in that position at this moment.
Yeah, definitely not. It's very uncomfortable, especially with how tight this track is. Being top 3 wide, definitely don't want to be put in that situation. He'll fall all the way to the back of the field there.
Absolutely, and you can see him falling back.
So a third of the way done here in stage 2 now. Pataska still out front. Joe Wright 2nd, Ransom 3rd. Then you got last year's winner Zach Johnson in 4th. Justin Bell in 5th. You see Thomas Filano also there, right there in 6th, just outside the top 5 in that 35 machine.
A couple of guys deep in the pack. I'm really surprised to see. I don't know if they got into trouble or not. Steve Mankey right now is in 26th position. Not a place you see that guy ever. He's always one of the fastest guys.
I'm wondering if that contact a little earlier in the race kind of possibly
a couple of
did,
these guys.
did
Tommy
something to his
Carroll was
car.
another one. Carroll's always fast. Noah Hamilton's always fast. Alan Phillips is fast. Vince Mitchell is fast. All these, you know, this league has just gotten so much better. All the top 20, they're all extremely. All the top 30, fast guys. So it's kind of hard to say that now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of competition here this season for sure in 2025, and we're gonna see it all live here on the Crown Jewel Race Network. It's gonna be a fun season for sure. Obviously, 2 races into the season at the moment. Actually, technically not even fully 2 races into the season, but we'll say 1.5 races into the season. So we got a good 34 more races here in the Cup Series, and then we also have full season of Dash and Truck and ARCA. So I mean, it's a lot of racing here that will have big help from High Velocity TV on those Monday nights for those truck races. Thomas and you in the booth on Sundays, and then you're back up here most of the time on Wednesdays and occasionally on those Tuesdays as well.
Yeah, and you know what? There's going to be a couple of days where I'm going to be the in-race reporter in the ARCA series. I have a couple of races that I have circled on my calendar that I'm going to bring out my new number 40, which is a throwback from the old Busch North series up here in the Northeast. So
there you go.
It's got a little bit of a surprise, and when you see it, you're going to like it. It's a real sharp-looking race car.
Yeah, I think the ARCA series is... I think we said it honestly a few times already before this race tonight, but I think the ARCA series is going to be one of the most fun series to watch. And with it being the in general just full open series for everybody to come join and race, I think that also adds another level of competition in that series as well. That kind of is interesting. And then you're going to be learning a whole new car with the ARCA car coming up here very soon.
And that's what.
Again here.
Whoa, we got a bunch of cars into the wall there towards the back of the field.
James Nesta stuck in the middle 3 wide. That's the replacement driver of Austin Runkle in the 20 there. Stuck still 3 wide on the exit of 2. He's going to have to keep that car safe.
Yeah, we got 3 wide towards the center here, and this is where all that trouble was early on. Keeping an eye on that 20 car who's stuck in the middle. The 43 car just goes up and touches the wall. Now we've got a big traffic jam right now in the middle of all of this mess.
And you see there in the middle of that mess, Thomas Wolfe don't want to be there. He gets clear of that. Looks like they're all kind of settling it out now as they single file out to that bottom line, stumbling over words as it's getting excited out here now.
Yeah, that was kind of ugly back there in the back, and it almost got real bad. Luckily,
Still
everybody
with,
survives that one.
Yeah, still running with 37 cars here on the lead lap, so not really a lot of cars out of this race right now, or cars that are laps down here. You see a little bit of a breakaway just in front of the 20 and the 48. So they're going to have to try to resort themselves and get caught back up to the field.
One guy we haven't talked much about tonight so far is that 69 car, the Uberman. He's moving his way up a bit. He's out there just flirting with that top 10.
He is. He's kind of stuck in the middle here right now. Just got left out to dry by his teammate. Going to have to go down to the bottom in front of Ray Gill. Vasquez is going to be side by side with him, but that takes away all the room that is there on the top. I think Uber Motorsports, or we should say Tipton Harding Motorsports now, as they have that rebrand name. I think they're trying to form a little bit of a top line here. You see the 29 and the 69 right there. I'm not sure where Higginbotham and Pete Morales are. It looks like Higginbotham's chilling a little bit further back. I'm trying to see where Morales is. I don't see him on the screen.
I think
he's in
Morales
30th right now.
Yeah, he got caught up in
well.
That incident. Petey Morales, nice kid. Hey, Petey, if your dad's watching, tell him we say hello.
Yeah, he was in the chat all last year in the truck series. I remember commentating those races and seeing the support for him. Moves his way up to the Cup Series this year.
Yep. Back out front, Dallas Pataska making it look like a Sunday drive out there, being followed by Joe Wright in the donut car. That outside lane really starting to form up nice and starting to get a little bit of momentum now, and they're catching those 2 cars that are all by themselves.
Yeah, I think we were going by a lap car there of Tyler Bellinger, and it kind of broke up the bottom. But it looks like Pataska and Wright going to get caught back up by Ransone, as actually he's going to do a little bit of a deke there, move back up to the outside. He might be trying to go for the lead here. Just about halfway into stage 2. And Ransome's actually going to get left there by Hoggan. I don't know if that's a smart move to do in the middle of the race right now, just leaving somebody like that.
And that 16 car got hung way out to dry up high. Luckily, everybody got around it. Pataska, Wright, Johnson, Bell, Condor, your top 5.
Ransome will fall all the way back to 14th after that.
Yep, and that 96 car and the 4 car there. The 4 cars, 04 car, I should say, is doing everything it can to push the 96 back up on that outside line and just struggling just a little bit. I'm
See
wondering
some more lap traffic also coming up on the screen here, just in front of the leaders.
I wonder if we're going to really see that outside. Oh, that was a red car. I didn't quite get the. Was that the 54, I think?
It was hard to tell there. I don't know. Oh, John Connor on the apron there trying to baby
we
that
got
car
smoke
around.
towards the back. I don't know if something just happened in turns 3 and 4. The caution is not out.
Coming around Jonathan Lager here in the 28 as he's going to be off pace. Unfortunate night for that 28 car.
In a bad spot to be kind of hung up to dry, because if he goes below that line, he's going to get shot right up the track, and he's doing everything he can to stay out of everybody's way.
Now Joe Wright going to get left out to dry here, and he's going to start being the one left out to dry and falling back to about 5th, 6th. Pataska stays out front now. Hoggan, Porter, 2nd, 3rd. You see Nic Vasquez moves up to 4th. Zach Johnson still on that outside line leading there. And you got Joe Wright there just on the inside. So we're starting to see that 4-car breakaway again. Is this going to start to be a total breakaway from the rest of the field? We'll have to see.
Well,
just over halfway now in the stage 2.
Now they've got Vasquez on the backside of that train of 4 cars, and that's a very fast group of cars right there. Vasquez again moved his way up for the front. Joe Wright, who had fallen back early, and now he's back up in front of that 2nd pack, and I think he's gonna really catch up to that front pack. He loves that bottom line, and he's been very quick with it. There you see a Honda, one of your first Hondas you see up in that front group.
Ooh, gotta be careful there. We're 3 wide again.
Ah, man, how are they getting away with this?
I don't know. It's a very close quarter to race it here. Alan Phillips now stuck in the middle, 3 wide. Tommy Carroll, Ray Gill on the outside of him. Or inside outside of him. They're trying to sort it out. Heading through that tri-oval very tight as they head into 1 and 2 as well. That's one thing that we haven't even really talked about either, is that turn 1 wall coming into turn 1, coming out of that dog leg. It comes up on you pretty fast if you're on the outside lane. And you could very easily smack that wall and almost end your night. And I'm sure some people have ended their nights hitting that wall.
Whoa! The 60 just got into the back of the 66 car, or the 90, excuse me, just got in the back of the 66 car and almost sent him for a ride there. That was real close.
See, a top line has started to break away, or should I say bottom, out front right now. About 10 cars in that first pack. It's 9 to be exact. And you see a kind of second pack formed there. With a couple cars on the outside trying to catch back up as well.
Well, when I saw Joe Wright starting to catch those guys, I knew he was going to bring the other ones behind him, and that's exactly what happened. And now we have a huge breakaway with those top cars. And
yeah, with 9 cars, if we stay green here, honestly, they might be able to run away for the stage and just sort it out for themselves. Kind of like we saw stage 1.
And those 9 cars are separated by 0.7 seconds. And then you get a big jump back almost a full second to that next group.
Leading that right now is Tyler Justice in that number 2, replacing Xander Short for the night. getting pushed by Corey Mott. They're actually making some ground back up here on that lead pack. You see Vince Mitchell starting to get just a little bit bigger. That 2 does have a little bit of front end damage as well. You see it's pushed in a good amount. Don't know if that's affecting the way that car is driving, but seems like they're gaining speed back on these leaders.
Now, we saw last night, we saw a couple of cars with no hoods that were still able to keep up with the draft. But, you know, that damage there is right in the center of the car. So I don't know if he's going to lead a race in that thing. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think he's going to be able to catch up with these other cars. And that 54 car of Nim Silver's, of Jim Mott is just doing everything he can. Oh, excuse me, Corey Mott pushing him forward.
Yeah, and they have caught up to the leaders, but caution is out as they catch back up.
I didn't quite see what happened. I was busy watching that battle.
It might be in the back here. It's like Mason Hoffner has some damage on his number 30 machine. There was no report for the wreck. It looks like Alan Phillips goes down to the bottom line. Hoffner tries to kind of clear himself there last second and gets sent down into the wall, back up the track. That was definitely the reason for the caution. Nim Silva blinking out. I don't know if the net code kind of saved him there. We'll have to see. Does he blink back into existence? He does. He does have a little bit of damage on that car, but doesn't look too bad.
Boy, I think that net code saved him. I'm looking at the front of Nim's car right now, and a little bit of driver's side damage, but I don't think that is bad at all. Maybe a little bit of a crinkle on the hood, but he should be safe.
Yeah, I don't think that was too bad of damage for him. I know that these cars, they also have been getting fixed up a lot quicker with the way that the kind of new damage model that they put into these next gen and the rest of these oval cars, I should say, on iRacing. It's definitely kind of made it a little bit easier to fix these cars, but at the same time, you also have times where you can't fix your car at all, and it's just like, yeah, we're done. So it's interesting with the way that they've kind of updated how the damage in this car works. 4 cautions so far, 100 laps in, 1 every 25 laps, not too bad.
No, it's this race has clicked off pretty good. We're at just over an hour right now, and that includes, you know, some of the pre-show too. So really clicking off the laps. So 230 total to go, and man, at this rate, we're going to be there pretty quickly.
Looks like Thomas Wolfe is going to be the leader for this restart here. We'll have just about, 45 laps right now. When we go green, it looks like, in stage 2 to go. So it's about the length of stage 1 here for the end of stage 2. Thomas Wolfe, Alan Phillips both picked the bottom. Both of them decided to stay out. I believe everybody else went down pit road. See Corey Mott choose the outside there. He'll find himself on the front row in that number 54 Sala LTL Fright Camry. Very nice paint scheme.
Yep, it is. Some of these guys get so creative with their paints. You know, I absolutely love what they do. I talk about John Ledger as being the paint king. He always comes up with a good scheme, and I wish I had that talent. And I actually have about 3 or 4 different schemes I need done. And man, I just hate bothering poor Pete. I just hate bothering Ledger every 5 minutes to do another scheme for me. So maybe I just need to throw in the towel and try to learn it.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I make all my paint schemes. It's pretty fun. It's also a challenge, kind of coming up with those ideas. So it's one of those fun things just to kind of have on the side, and one of those also creative things that iRacing lets you have with custom paint schemes. I think it's awesome, honestly.
Now we have the pace car just dove down into the infield. We're getting ready to get into the Geico restart zone. Here we go. That bottom line with Wolf gets a little bit of a better start than the outside line. That outside line kind of falls back just a hair. Only one car length now. Corey Mott really struggling to keep up. He doesn't have any help. He kind of wishes that car behind him was a little bit closer. But having him in the front of that pack is kind of a good thing. And it wasn't long ago. He was back in 20-something position. So he obviously didn't pit that time around. But Corey's a saver, and he knows what he's doing. So let's keep an eye on him, see where he goes with the older tires. But out front, it's still Wolf and Alan Phillips, who we talked about earlier, who's always fast and out front.
See
there he
Vasquez
is.
There on the inside. In 5th now as that inside line kind of starts pulling away. Corey Mott leading the outside line on board with him at the moment.
Yeah, look at that stash. Look at that stash on Corey.
Looking good, our league owner. On the outside right now, battling with Nic Vasquez.
Last night's broadcast, I used the word Riz, and my teenage daughter heard me say that, and apparently I am banned from using it for the rest of the year, so I guess I'm too old for this. I don't know.
I guess so. I don't think so, honestly. I have a pretty fun time with you, but it might be sign of the times, baby. You never know. You never know.
Wolf, Phillips, Hoggan, Pataska, Vasquez, your ones up front. Mott now up into 6th position.
Here comes
Vasquez
Corey,
also
big run on the outside.
Yeah. Now you got this group of guys up here that some of them haven't run together, and some of them have. You know, Corey and Nick have run together. Cody Porter really hasn't run with too many of these guys. Dallas, he's kind of, his first year here. Hogan, same thing. We've seen it a couple of times, but, Phillips, we've seen it a couple of times. But Wolf, he's on his own out front. So on a track like this, how much does that hold psyche in your head?
I think working with certain people, knowing who you're working with, is definitely very important with this type of track. Drafting tracks definitely helps. Having somebody pushing you that you know, or you pushing somebody that you know. Like last night, I preferred working with Saunders over pretty much everybody else in the field because I just had a lot of familiarity with him just running with the Cup Series last year. And I think that's how a lot of it will kind of be, and how you navigate where and who you choose to work with here. So it's definitely interesting.
Whoa! Man, I don't know if you saw that, but Corey Mott got pushed off into the corner real hard by Josh Stoltz and kind of got a little bit squirrely. Yeah. These guys are beating and banging each other really hard. If these were the cars last night, we would have had about 5 different cautions already. But they get away with it with these cars. Now, watch the run that Mott gets down the back straightaway. But he just can't. You see him come off and it wants to go, but he just can't seem to catch up to those front cars. Trying to get that side draft to slow down that momentum, but it's still going to be Wolf and Phillips in the front. Yeah, Hogan and Mott swapping positions back and forth. Yeah, I know the guys really like this kind of tight racing like this, but after a while, man, you just get so fatigued.
Got a first-time chatter. This is a league. It's the Crown Jewel Majors Garage Cup Series here. We'll run on Wednesday nights all season, following the Cup Series regular season schedule. We also have Truck Series, Xfinity, and ARCA as well. So we run Sunday to Wednesday nights.
Come on down, check it out.
Yeah,
Grab
come
a
on
wheel.
down, come race. ARCA is an open league, so anybody is welcome to join. Corey Mott making a run to the outside here, looking to lead a lap. One thing I think that we also didn't really touch on last week was the fact that there's a point for the fastest lap of the race now. Whoa, big slide out of Thomas Wolf there. Corey Mott slid down to the bottom. I don't think Wolf was kind of ready for that, as well as Phillips. They kind of came into contact there into the corner. And here comes Josh Schultz trying to make a late block, and that's not going to work.
No.
Around they go.
You cannot do that. Oh, no. Oh boy. Well, we said when it happens big, and man,
This is a lot of cars.
yeah,
Oh boy,
yep.
I don't know how damaged a lot of these guys are. There's definitely a lot of damage on some of these cars that we're seeing in the screen right now. But I think a good majority of these guys should be pretty decently okay. We'll have to go back and see what happened there because that was a lot that just broke out.
Looked like there was about 8 or 9 cars involved in that.
Honestly, I would say even more.
Yeah,
It
at
felt
least,
like
yeah.
it was, it just kept piling on there. It happened at the
I
front
saw
of the field too, so that's definitely gonna be
not
a,
what you want to see, yeah. And I think we saw multiple of the Hondas involved in that.
yeah, that's definitely a wreck that can take out a lot of guys. We see Stoltz tries to make that move down to the bottom, but Thomas Wolfe is there.
Ooh.
She'll condor into the outside the wall. The
Oh,
two
man.
big impacts for the 29. You see Nic Vasquez, Vince Mitchell go around. Big hit there for Thomas Villano.
A lot of the fast cars that we've been watching all night long were involved in that.
Big impact there for the 24 of Noah Spalding. Geisbrecht nowhere to go. He's already out of control. Just keep on wrecking. We'll see what Zach Johnson kind of saw here. This was last year's winner. He was involved in this as well. A little further back.
Green Bay, Wisconsin. Oh, wow, what a mess.
Yeah, you see all the avoidance efforts going all the way down. You see William Ransone there just in front.
Oh!
And yeah, Stephen Carlisle just good door contact with the 45 machine. Garth Griswold sliding by there. Oh, and Stephen Mankey gets a little piece of that as well, just at the end. A lot of good cars involved in this wreck. That is for sure.
A lot of fast cars. Yeah, a lot of real fast cars. This totally shook up the outcome of this race in a big, big way.
On board with Nic Vasquez. See him try to go down. Vince Mitchell just loses control. Vasquez goes around, tries to hold on to it, tries to save it, loses control back up the track, almost comes back into contact with the 18. That was a full circle moment there almost. Not too bad though.
The thing is, you know, he was just trying to keep it from going up onto the track, and he just barely got clipped there at the end. Logan Geisbrecht, see what happens.
Yeah,
with
see
him.
They're trying to brake. They're out of the
Just
gas already.
He's
just
trying to slow down
and go.
Yeah, well, that transition on that apron just kind of really screwed him up, and it sent his car pitching in each way. And then one of the other cars stopped in front of him. I mean, what else can he do?
Yeah, and while we were looking at all that replays, we're already lined up side by side again, getting ready to go racing. And it's a whole different look in the field now. Corey Mott will be leading the field. You'll see Thomas Wolfe. He's still out front, however. Not a lot of damage on that 94 car. Gets away with that pretty safely. Alan Phillips, Boyd Hoggan in that second row. You see Cody Porter in 5th. Dallas Pataska falls to 6th after that. You see Ransone and now Caleb Tipton up into the top 10 there. Is that 4th car on the outside? Bill, we haven't done it tonight. Why don't we crank it up? We got a new graphic for that as well.
Absolutely. I'm not even going to start the race. We're just going to let him go. Crank it up.
I think let's crank it up. Let's hear these cars.
even gave you a little extra bonus lap, right? These guys are flying and watching some of their times, and they are absolutely ripping. You can't even blink as fast as these guys in the top 15 are running less than a second. Unbelievable how fast they're going. The outside line is really starting to work in itself. Seems as if the track temperature is starting to drop a little bit, and that outside line is coming back.
Oh, gotta be
And
careful,
even
Corey.
better right there, but man, I didn't see who that was. That Corey Mott almost got away from him there and went up into that upper line.
I think he was trying to go up high, trying to block the run from the outside, and didn't have enough momentum. Thomas Wolf caught him, and he was almost caught in the middle there.
Yeah, just a little bit too late on that block. Outside line really starting to come forward a little bit more all the way back now. Looks like the top 3 in Pataska are just about ready to clear Corey Mott's car. That outside line really forming up. The times are getting a lot faster on that outside line.
Yeah, now just under 20 laps to go. 17, I believe, to be exact. And it's getting closer to that go time for the end of stage 2. I know some of these guys are definitely going to be battling for that stage point and the stage win, I should say, the playoff point that these drivers will get from winning this stage. But other than that, these top 10 in points, it can be pretty necessary. So it's interesting seeing these guys start to pick it up here, knowing that we just had one of those big wrecks, and it's fresh in the back of their mind. Got to kind of keep it under themselves here to finish the stage and get themselves into stage 3 for sure.
It is, if you look at how hard they're driving at this point too, they're not holding back at all. I mean, we still have a little bit of time, but they're beaming and wobbing. They're starting to shove each other harder and harder each time we get through the corners, and that's where things start to happen.
Yeah,
now
you
at the
see
end of this,
times on the left side of the board. Sorry for cutting you off.
No problem. At the end of the stage, the last stage, we saw a lot of close calls, and we saw one caution with one guy maybe tried to make his move a little bit early. So we'll see if they can keep it clean this time around, see if they learn their lesson. Well, who's going to just let it all hang out and go for it? But one thing I just saw is we're coming up on traffic.
We are. And with the times that these guys are pushing, 30.27s, it's definitely a scary thing catching up to lap traffic that does not have any draft at all, which is running about probably 2 seconds slower.
Yeah, at least.
So we got to be careful making our way around that car. But 15 laps to go here in stage 2. Corey Mott out front. You see Thomas Wolf leading that outside line. Now Mott moves up. Here comes Alan Phillips to the inside. He's got Cody Porter, William Ransone.
Now the problem they're going to have is they're going to catch this car at the tail end of the back straightaway entering turn number 3, and that's the last place you want to catch a car, because he can't go down low unless he did he pull down the back straightaway? I think he did.
I believe he did. Corey Mott gets crossed over by Thomas Wolf, but now Wolf sliding back up. Here comes Phillips down to the inside. Got a battle on our heads for the lead.
Yeah. Remember everything I said about maybe they're going to hold it off a little bit for the points?
Yeah, they're not.
I guess I was wrong. Yeah, they're going even harder than what I said they were going to do.
See, Michael Deitch moves up to the top 10 here. New face in the top 10. Got a little bit of front-end damage on that 57, but other than that, 3 wide now for the lead. Thomas Wolf stuck in the middle. Corey Mott, no help on the outside, though. He's going to start falling back here in a second.
Yeah, not where you want to be, because right here it gets real tight through that tri-oval. Luckily, they get through there. Still 3 wide, not where you want to be.
Oh, Alan Phillips getting loose there.
Boy.
Looked like a caution was about to come out, but we saved it.
I think Mr. Phillips needs a new pair of shorts right now, because he was way sideways on that. Just a little bit too hard. Oh, there it is.
Boyd Hoggan goes around, Cameron Albertson, Garth Griswold, Corey Mott, Vince Mitchell, Nathan Barrows all involved there. Big hits for a lot of these cars. It looks like Hayden Higginbotham was involved there. They were 3 wide out of 4, and that did not work.
Corey Mott, heavy, heavy damage. Really surprised that car is even moving.
Yeah, that was a big-time contact. started happening
Oh, actually, it looked like the
up
96
front.
car
Yeah,
actually
just
came up
Hoggan.
and hit Corey.
And then
So,
everybody trying to go down the track, and that's where the wreck is going.
yeah, I saw Joe Wright mowing the lawn.
See a big hit there for the 90 of Barros.
Yeah.
Involved in that last
Hopefully,
incident.
hopefully he's not in a full motion setup, because if he is, he just got thrown to the floor.
See John Connor spinning there in the grass as well with Justin Bell. They're kind of having a synchronized mow session.
Justin Bell was a victim of circumstance last night, got caught up in somebody else's mess.
Try to get one more good look here of onboard, kind of what happened there. On board with Hoggan. I think he got shoved there in the middle of 3 wide. Just everything went around. It's hard to tell because it all happens so fast, and he goes for a wild ride down pit road. Yeah, I mean, just everything breaks out there. I don't know.
Man, you know what? It looks
loose.
like he might have got bumped in the corner and sent him a little squirrely right into the door of Corey Mott. Let's go on board with the 17.
Pataska. Yeah, we can see what he saw. If I can find him real quick. There he is. So it looks like no contact. Oh, it just...
Oh, he just snapped on him. Oh, tough break.
And that's something that is a big problem with these cars as well. It just snaps on you at random times, especially in 3 wide and tight situations like this. It's sometimes just very uncontrollable. We'll have a few laps left in stage 2 to battle it out. Alan Phillips currently leading the field. Got Porter, Thomas Wolfe, then William Ransone there. Just behind him in the top 4, 5th is Michael Deitch now.
Looking in our chat room, want to give a shout out to Max Is Cool, who started watching last night's broadcast and came back again to watch us tonight. So, welcome back, Max.
New viewer. Yeah, welcome back. We'll have broadcasts pretty much every Tuesday and Wednesday nights here on the Crown Jewel Race Network, and then we'll also have the occasional Sunday night broadcast for ARCA. When those races happen, we actually have a few doubleheaders coming up in ARCA as well. I know Kern is going to be a doubleheader, and then there's a few other doubleheaders that will be on ARCA, so we'll have a few doubleheader nights coming up on Sundays, and just a whole bunch of racing to get filled up. But next week we got to go to Coda first, have some lefts and rights in the Cup Series and the Dash Series. Yeah, I think that's going to be very fun, and with the new layout, we might see a caution. We haven't had a caution at Coda in our 2 years of running there so far, but honestly, it's kind of looking like there possibly will be one. But we'll see.
Well, apparently I got too excited on that last wreck because I just got the stink eye from the family members peeking in the room. Apparently I woke up some people, so
Hey,
I may have to go back to the man cave.
That's always a fun story, but we're getting ready to finish stage 2 here. Looks like 8 laps to go as they hit the line. Alan Phillips, good jump there. Cody Porter will fill in on the bottom. Ransone going to be stuck out to dry right now. He might have Caleb Tipton coming here in a second to help him out, but 2-car breakaway right now out front.
And we got a whole bunch of new faces, and one guy you don't want to see if you're in this race is that 04 car in second place. Cody Porter, extremely fast, extremely talented driver. You know he can win this thing, and Phillips is very... Oh boy, we got a big... Wow, that was really close. That group of cars right there almost just collected each other. They're still running 3 wide, where they're 3 wide on multiple occasions back there. Not what you want to see.
Definitely not what you want to see. I think the top car is starting to break away. Kind of going to settle this stage between themselves unless a caution comes out here. Then we might have a shot at a 1 or 2 lap dash here at the end of stage 2, but I think if we complete just 2 more laps, we should be pretty much secured to finish. Alan Phillips, Cody Porter, they're pushing a little aggressive out front. Got to be careful lining those cars up. Noah Hamilton moves up to 3rd, William Ransone in 4th, and then Thomas Wolf 5th. And then you see Tipton, that last car in that 6-car breakaway.
That right there is the reason why that Cody Porter is pushing that car in front so hard. He's seen the other guys behind him starting to think about going on that outside line, and he wants to get the bonus points, the stage points for 2nd place, not 4th place.
Yeah, and you see now Pete Morales has worked his way up into the top 10 after all those incidents. He's running right now in 7th, getting pushed by the 45 of Zach Johnson, who's still in this race after getting a little bit of damage in that first major wreck as well. So it seems they're going to be having a shot to go for this win here tonight still.
Good to see him coming back from that. That's one thing that makes a champion is, can you come back from a wreck? A lot of these guys, they get into a bad wreck, they kind of give up and go home. But a lot of these guys keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting, and they end up getting a decent finish. Jim Mott comes to mind. He had a lot of difficult races in the ARCA series last year, but he just stayed in it and would still get a decent finish, and he ended up winning the championship.
Yeah, just a second ago we saw William Ransone move to the outside, try to make a move for himself. Nobody decided to go with him, though, just yet. Now going to be 3 laps to go here in Stage 2. Still Alan Phillips, Cody Porter, and now Thomas Wolf in 3rd. They're kind of doing a little shuffling in that lead pack.
Now, Wolf came close from really wrecking his car hard a couple of times tonight. He's trying to repeat his championship, and he's looking really strong early in the season. I know it's only the 2nd race, but he's racing like a repeat champion. He's been out front every race and collected bonus points.
Here comes a little bit of a move now. Hamilton and Ransone move up to the high line. We'll see if anybody else tries to make that dive with them. 2 laps to go now in Stage 2. Alan Phillips still trying to hold on to this stage win and get, I believe, his first ever stage win in the Cup Series.
This is going to be a huge confidence builder for him. I mean, not that he needs it. He's a great driver already. But a guy like Porter behind him now, Porter's I rating, I think, is like 5,800 or something like that. He's like on the moon. He's way out there. And, even though Phillips is a great driver, you got a guy behind you that's that talented and been around iRacing that long, and you're holding your own. It's got to make you feel good.
Here comes that move to the outside. Phillips does a good job blocking it. Porter back down to the inside. This is going to be side by side to the line. This is where you learn. Thomas Wolf going to have to choose where he goes. He tries to go 3 wide middle. And what a battle there to the stage. I believe it was going to be Cody Porter. And we're going to wait for the caution to come out. There it is, as everybody else in the top 10 will cross the line. It looks like Joe Wright comes out on top with a little bit of teammate help. WRL, Cody Leach, pushing him way out there to get 7th. Other than that, it seems Pataska, Higginbotham, and Ben Lawson will finish in that top 10, at least the way that they run going into pit road. Let's go ahead and get some water real quick, Bill. Maybe you can go step down to the man cave if you need to.
Gonna have to go. I've been evicted from my simulator room, and I'm gonna go into the man cave. We'll see in a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll step aside real quick, get some words from our sponsors, and we'll be back and getting ready to go for Stage 3 here at Atlanta. What a race so far.
Of turn 4, and Michael Conti wins. And Nick Ottinger has secured his spot in the championship 4.
Are you struggling to keep up with the top drivers? Are you ready to get faster and more consistent? If so, it doesn't have to take as long as you might think. With the VRS competitive subscription, you'll have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything you need to analyze your driving and see exactly where you're losing time. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off your lap times. When it comes to your equipment holding you back, the powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the best drivers in the world, including Jordan Caruso, Tim Ryan, Jordi Lopez, and Oscar Piastri. It's no secret that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also the best value for money. So if you're looking to upgrade your wheelbase to direct drive and want highly adjustable, ultra-realistic pedals, VRS is your answer. You can get better, faster, and more consistent in less time and for less money. You owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. Just go to the URL or the button below and learn why the best use VRS.
So after a couple of words from our sponsors, we get to choosing Nim Silva going to be leading this race right now, followed by William Ransone. See a few other guys trying to sort their way around lap cars, it looks like. Bill, you here yet down in your man cave?
I am down in the Bat Cave right now, and I'm just looking at some of the speeds and the times of this race and how fast this race is actually going. We may be out of here in less time than what we were able to race last night.
Maybe, honestly, like it does feel like this race has gone by very quickly. Already into stage 3. It's only 8:51 Central, which is about an hour and a half before we normally finish these races. So if we can get this thing done pretty quickly, we might be out of here by maybe 9:30 tonight on the Central side.
We totally just jinxed ourselves. No?
We definitely did.
no doubt about that. So last night's race finished up just after 11 o'clock for me on the East Coast, but now we're getting ready to go green one more time.
Yeah, we have the lights back on the pace car real quick as we're getting, seems, lines sorted and everything good. Looks like Bellinger might have had a wave around there as he's going to make his way around the field. So stage 3 here, the final stage of this race, from lap 135 to 230. It's a 95 lap stage here in stage 3. So our longest of the night, we go 45, 90, 95. So kind of is not as long as or it is as long as stage 2, but it's not too much longer than stage 2. Only 5 laps difference. It pretty easy savable kind of distance if you can get into a good fuel number here. As we said kind of at the top of the broadcast, about 60 laps in these cars is kind of the max of what you can kind of do. Maybe 55, 62 probably at most is what we kind of heard last night from those Xfinity cars. So the Cup cars kind of have around that same fuel tank size, and you'll kind of see that same fuel economy. Actually, it's a little bit easier to save fuel in these cars as well, able to run partial throttle. So it's interesting how these next gens kind of work at these super speedways. It creates a lot of different style of racing here at these drafting tracks.
Yeah, that 51 car, not saving fuel.
Not out front,
Yeah, he's you're not going to get him to save any fuel right now. Same thing at Ransom, Wright, Lawson, Carlisle. Where did he come from?
Back up into that top 10. Third car on the outside, but look at Ben Lawson. We haven't really spoke about him too much. Up to 4th now here on this restart. Pace car dives down. Nim Silva gets on the loud pedal. We're back green racing here in stage 3. Gonna be 90 laps to go here at Atlanta.
Great launch by Nim Silva, followed by Wright in that 37.
See Ransom moves down.
Some of the veterans of the Crown Jewel Racing League rise to the top here.
Right now we got a rookie leading the field. Is Joe Wright gonna leave him? He does. To the lead goes that 37 car. They're gonna try to clear that 51, maybe move back down the track. They do. Tipton goes around as well. And Joe Wright will take the lead here. Those guys got to be careful going underneath that apron. Can get a penalty there for that if they are passing a car.
Now, Nim Silva, he's another one. You can't really call him a rookie. He's been around for a while. I know he's won a bunch of different, super speedway races, whether it's a league or official races. He's a talented driver. Kind of took a year off, and now he's back, and he's looking really strong right now.
Made somewhat of a controversial team move after Daytona, kicking the number 20 car out of Austin Runkle, but it's been somewhat relegated down. A lot of people kind of calmed down after that move, and we're gonna have to see what the outfall of that whole move is in general. It was definitely a crazy move. It was in the rumors for sure, but not a lot of people were very sure of if that was gonna happen, and just out of nowhere it broke.
Well, if we don't see Runkle back here, maybe we'll see him in one of the other cars or one of the other series. So I don't think you've seen the last of Austin Runkle this year.
Yeah, I don't think you will either. I think he will be doing open entries. He was on the entry list tonight. I don't think he was in the session, however, so missed the race, I believe, and did not have the chance to qualify at all for this race. So kind of a unfortunate situation there for him, but we definitely will see him try to qualify for a lot of these cup races for sure. He has a open entry now, and with that also a lot of guys going to be competing for a lot of these cup races in the lower series that have kind of just want to get that cup experience.
Austin, a supermodel, from what I understand, has done some male modeling on the side.
I mean, you got to do that as a driver, gotta get those headshots. Those professional headshots. So, Bill,
I can hear Austin.
I was gonna ask you, have you ever been out to Atlanta?
I have never been to that track. It's a bucket list. Excuse me. Atlanta used to run Indy cars way back in the mid to late 80s, where it was before they turned it into the D-shaped oval. This is actually the second D-shaped oval that this track has gone through. But it used to be just a regular egg-shaped oval. Super fast. The Indy cars used to run about 210 here, and this was back in the 80s. Yeah, so, I mean, it was just absolute insanity here back in those days, but it's on the bucket list. I'll be at Charlotte for the 600 this year. Probably Darlington. And then, of course, working on a few race cars in the modifieds and the Smart Tour this year, helping out some old friends, as well as helping out in some of the late model stocks at Hickory and Tri-County. So it's going to be a big year.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty big year for yourself there at up in New York right now still.
New York?
Are you in Buffalo? No, sorry, Massachusetts. I got to remember that. You're in Boston.
Yeah, they don't call me Bill the Masshole for nothing.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I get my Northeast terminology up to par.
Yeah, don't confuse us with New York.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a big no-no to do.
Well, right now what I love seeing is that 37 car out front, Joe Wright in the donut car.
Yeah, working 80 laps to go right now. He's trying to just kind of chill out there, but now you see that top line starting to form back up. They got Pataska, Vasquez, Lawson as a caution comes out.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. I think there was seeing some tire smoke towards the back. I don't know if somebody spun or if they had
it's looking at big hit for Jonathan Lager into the outside wall. Bellinger also around there in the back. So a 2-3 car maybe incident. And there's a lot of guys still flying by.
Well, yeah, I think Jonathan Lager Ledger might be
done. That's a lot of smoke coming out of that engine.
Yeah, that's not Cheech and Chong driving that car, folks. That's some engine smoke there. Watch this hit.
It might be up in smoke, but it's not Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, it looks like they got 3 wide there down to the bottom, and he just got collected. He was just trying to go on the outside, minding his own business, and he got smoked.
Yeah, that was just a violent impact for that 28 car.
Yeah, and look, he's trying to keep that wheel straight, and it's just laughing at him, turning in towards the infield.
Trying to see fully kind of what caused that there. Maybe a little checkup on the bottom, gets Bellinger loose. He comes back up the track.
The 88 car. The 88 car lost it, came up the track, and
made contact with Cody Leach's teammate as well. He's got big front end damage on that left front. So caution back out. William Ransone in a split chartered. I don't even know how to really describe it of the team owner of it, but it's a all-star car, I should say, I guess. Leading the field right now here. That number 16, he's got Pataska right behind him, Nic Vasquez in 3rd, Caleb Tipton 4th, and Ben Lawson in 5th. Let's go ahead and see if we could try to talk to our Stage 1 winner now of Dallas Pataska, see if he is finally in the server. I believe I saw him a second ago, actually. He is. Let's go ahead and bring up Dallas and see what he has to say so far about this race. Hey there, Dallas. It's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Up to 2nd place right now. Kind of been hovering around the front, making moves every now and then. It's been a somewhat chaotic race here recently, but overall a decently calm race. How are you feeling right now in that 17, and what can you do to get this thing into victory lane?
Yeah, really just trying to survive at this point. You know, we got through the 2 stages with some decent points. So at this point, just trying to set ourselves up for that final money stop and find out what we can do. We got some help around us, but ultimately it's going to come down to those last few laps. You know, fingers crossed. Hopefully we come out on top.
Pass it over to Bill here, see if he's got any questions for you.
Dallas, how frustrating is it trying to move through the field?
Well, for me, I don't know. It didn't seem to be too bad. A lot of guys are afraid of the top. Our car is working pretty good up top to make some moves. So, not as bad for myself as some other guys. But, yeah, it's not easy out there. You know, if you don't have a good pusher or someone out front that you can trust to link up with, you're not going to go anywhere. So, definitely not easy out here, but we're doing what we can.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, man, you have a hell of a run going so far for you. Good luck. Hopefully we'll be talking to you in victory lane tonight.
Thanks, guys.
That was Dallas Pataska in the number 17 car. He chose the bottom. Ransone decides to go to the top here as the leader.
And I'll tell you what, did you hear the confidence in his voice?
Yeah, it's a very slight, subtle confidence. It's definitely there. It's not as boastful as other people, I would say. And yeah, I think he knows that he's got something in that car for sure tonight that could get him into victory lane.
Yeah, it's a lot of confidence right there, and that should be scary to everybody else because we know he's extremely fast. So, man, he's going to be tough to beat.
There's a lot of Chevys up in the top 10 as well. The only problem I see right now, those 2 Fords right behind him.
Mm-hmm. Green flag is out. Both cars in the front get a really good jump, and for the first time, we actually have a drag race for that top position. Ransom trying to clear the 17 car. He's not going to be able to do it. Both lanes starting to form up real quick all of a sudden. Now we have 2 snakes going down the back straightaway at 180 miles an hour. Yeah, every car is side by side.
Ransone had a good jump, but Pataska was able to match it very well. And he has a huge run coming into turn 3 and 4 out into that tri-oval now. Nic Vasquez able to catch up. He's got help of Alan Phillips, who's moved down in between himself and Ben Lawson now. So it's a side-by-side out front. But
yeah, both of these lanes are really formed up. Really formed up. It really looks nice right now as they're coming off in turn 2 down the back straightaway. Bottom line starting to snake out just a little bit. Nic Vasquez is all over the back of Pataska right now.
2 Chevys move down. That's Ransone and Carlisle into that bottom line behind Alan Phillips. That's 4 Chevys now lined up in that bottom line, split by Vasquez. A little bit of looseness there. They go through the tri-oval.
I think that was Higginbotham, who we haven't really talked about much. He's another guy that's usually pretty quick around here, but it was right around in that area of where he is where they got really squirrely.
Yeah, and you see the Uber Motorsports cars, we got to stop saying that. Tipton Harding Motorsports cars, they're starting to line up here around each other. You see Morales, Tipton, and Higginbotham all right there. They got 2 rookies on their team trying to make it look good in the Cup Series. Hayden did a good job last season in the ARCA Series. Got himself a couple of wins early on. Kind of faded off near the end of that season, just unable to get into victory lane. But he definitely had a good few runs there. Made a few starts in the Cup Series, and now he finds himself full-time this season in that number 9 car, and looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, he's definitely earned it, and he's looking really strong. He's the guy that don't be surprised if you see him lock himself in. It might take a little bit later on into the season, a little more experience, maybe a track that he's been to a few times. Now that he's raced the full season last year, he's coming back and he's going to be racing the same track with pretty much the same people, so he's going to know what to expect, and I can see him being in victory lane by the end of the year. We have so many talented drivers that can break victory lane.
Yeah, it's going to be a very fun season as Morales gets shuffled out to the bottom there. Lawson tries to move up in front of Higginbotham with a run. That was a little weird looking there as they went through the tri-oval. It also kind of took away the run from the rest of those guys up front. They kind of break out as Pataska and Vasquez start to break away now.
All it takes is one car with a little bit of fumble to break that momentum, and that's it. It's like having a tree trunk tied to the back bumper of your car. But now you see Pataska, Vasquez, Phillips, and Ransone. I keep pronouncing that name wrong. They're starting to really pull away a little bit now. You got about 10 cars that are just in line right now, and trying to get that back group to form up on that outside. But what I think is going to happen is about 5 laps, somebody's going to get bored towards the front. They're going to make it side by side one more time.
And I kind of have my eyes on that 22 car, honestly. I know he looks pretty snug right now pushing that 17, but we know he will definitely make a move for the lead if he feels like that he wants to lead this race. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but with 2 teammates lined up behind him at Hollywood Motorsports, they can also kind of make a move as well, that 5 and the 16 car.
What's dangerous about what Nic Vasquez is doing right now is he's pushing that car real close. It's making his car get really hot. So if he does decide to dart out to the either side to make a move, his car is actually going to be down on horsepower because his temperature is going to be a lot higher. And it does affect your performance here in iRacing, believe it or not. So he's got to make sure he watches his temperature because it's been quite a few laps he's been tucked up underneath. There he goes, taking a peek, just trying to cool it off a little bit.
Yeah, I see him also back off just a tiny bit as well as they go through 3 and 4 back up to the tri-oval, though. Right back up to that bumper.
Yep. What he's doing is pushing that 17 through the tri-oval and off into turn 1. So he can get a good run on him going down the back straightaway and keep pushing him on the lead. Now he's going to snug right back up, bump draft him off. He's going to do the same thing. Push him off into turn 3. Draft right back up to him and time it. So as soon as your wheels are straight, he's going to be pounding the back of his car to push him forward again. Watch him push him right off into turn 1. Oh, right there. Didn't get very square on that one.
Kind of upset the 17 car, caused a little bit of a checkup just behind them on that bottom line.
Yeah, and that's all it takes. That little checkup right there. He's lucky that no car behind him had a really good run, because if they checked up and the car behind him had a good run, that car could have easily gone to that high side and blown right by those cars that hit their brakes.
Yeah, and one thing I'm looking at right now is the live timing is kind of on my screen that I'm looking at. We have 29 cars still on the lead lap here. So 29 cars still with a chance to possibly win this thing. I know a lot. There's probably a good back few of them that are damaged up from those wrecks, but if we get another few cautions, there's time to fix those cars, and you never know. It could be a lot bigger of a battle going on up front.
Most of these cars out front, they're battling for points. Pretty much every one of them is battling for points. We do have a couple of road drivers here tonight that could be hanging in the back, just waiting for the time later on before they come forward, kind of saving their cars. They have nothing else to lose.
Yeah, there's a couple of big names out of this race as well. It looks like Cody Leach, Corey Mott out of this race. Josh Stoltz, one of those open cars, out. Garth Griswold out of this race as well. Looks like Jonathan Lager is going to be out. Yeah, so about 5-6 cars out of this race currently.
Yeah, that 00 car got smoked on that last big wreck there in the tri-oval.
Yeah, he did, and so did Jonathan Lager there as well.
Yeah, the innocent victim, poor Jonathan.
It's a separate incident, but yeah, just both of them getting wiped out, and unfortunate incidents there that both took them out of that race, and they're getting a little squirrely at that 22. Alan
Really
Phillips took
squirrely.
a look.
I don't know if the 5 car was pushing him or if Nick was trying to block him there, but yeah, it looked like they were gonna start ripping each other sideways.
Thomas Filano gets out of the way for the field. He's got a lot of damage on that 35 machine. I think he might be going to pit road now, or possibly just trying to fully stay out of the way of the field and just keep on completing those laps.
I think Thomas was involved in 2 of the wrecks we had earlier today.
Yeah, right now he's sitting 31st in about 4 laps down at the moment. He does go down pit road this time around, so looks to be fixing damage here.
It's like about 60 laps to go to the end of the stage.
Yeah, 60 laps to go to the end of the race.
The race, excuse me, it's not the stage, the race.
We were in Charlotte for the 600. It would be the end of the stage. So
yeah.
We got 4 stages there, but yeah, that's the only exception for that rule.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of wish there was a few more races, maybe with 4 stages. I think that also makes another interesting dynamic. Maybe the Brickyard, possibly, or Southern
Bristol.
500, or Bristol. Yeah, I think Bristol could be a good one to
or
split.
Martinsville. Or Martinsville's another one.
Possible there too. Yeah. 4 100 lap stages right there.
Yep. That would go by pretty quick. Martinsville was a extremely tough little track. Been down there a few times with the modified crew way back in the early 2000s, and you know, the modifieds are a lot of fun there because they're so low to the ground and they stick. We also have those big, huge tires, but Martinsville is a very tricky track. Best hot dogs in all of NASCAR too, by the way, is at Martinsville Speedway.
I've heard that. So whenever I hopefully eventually make a run up to Martinsville for a race, I will definitely be trying those hot dogs, and hopefully that's true, because I love me some hot dogs.
It is. Martinsville's a great track.
They got chili cheese dogs up there?
From what I remember, you can get pretty much everything.
I might have to try a lot of the menu.
Yeah, when you go to North Wilkesboro, you have to try the lemonade and the sweet tea.
Lemonade, definitely a
big
good
thing
drink.
at North Wilkesboro. Best lemonade I ever had was at North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Really?
Yeah, right on the infield, right near Victory Lane. There's a little trailer, that little pop-up trailer. The sweet lady that works there, and man, she talked me into buying the biggest one they had, and thank God she did, because it was unbelievable.
Yeah, lemonade is I don't know, I love it. It's like that tangy sweetness.
Yep.
Not a lot of drinks can replicate it. But you see kind of 2 packs right now forming. You see a main pack out front. Then you got guys like Joe Wright leading the second pack all the way back in 16th right now. He's got Cody Porter, Boyd Hoggan. Looks like Ben Lawson, as well as Vince Mitchell and a few other guys just behind him. Looks like Zach Johnson and Nim Silva are those other 2 cars straggling on in the second pack. Michael Deitch, he's got that front end damage fixed on the 57. Tail end of that lead pack, trying to stay with it. He's starting to fall just a tiny bit. Got to be careful.
He's digging it hard, just keeping it steady right now. He could be eyeballing the overall prize in this package. He's just happy to still be running with everything he's been through tonight.
Yeah, and we finally see the single file here at Atlanta in stage 3. These guys kind of just ticking off laps right now. I believe we should see a pit stop here if we stay green as well, so that could cause a bunch of mayhem if a caution comes out as well during those pit cycles. Guys will get trapped laps down here with how fast these laps are, only 30 seconds around this track. And when you're going down pit road, entering on the back stretch, yeah, that's 2 laps gone by pretty quick. Easily
2 laps. And the problem is here is it's so tricky because you're coming off the back straight so fast and you're trying to slow down and make it around the corner. And then as you make it around the corner and you turn down pit lane, that's where the speed trap is. So you're trying to slow down, taking the corner at the same time to hit the speed trap. And usually you see cars go off the track a little bit there and mess up the entry. So we'll see how that pans out for these guys. And not only that, you brought up a good point. 2 laps around this track is what your competitors are going to get on you on a pit stop. You screw up your pit stop, you're looking at 3 laps, and then you're out of the race.
Yeah, and another interesting thing, kind of looking at it from the way that these standings are running right now, I'm looking at the last pit lap for a lot of these guys. Most of the field, last pit lap was 137, but there is a few little sneaky guys that pitted last on 152 that were involved in that last little incident that fixed up damage.
They were.
And you know that they topped off there, so they could stretch that fuel, make it a little bit further than the rest of this field, and maybe even stretch it to the end of the race, possibly. There's a little bit of smoke in 3 and 4 there. There's no caution. I think that was Bellinger on the bottom. It is.
It is Bellinger. He was involved in one of the last wrecks we had.
He does have a little report for an off-track. Oh, in front of Thomas Villano. No caution for that. It was a single car spinning, and he did get off the track pretty quickly. Nobody was really around. You see cars make their way around after.
Yeah, but I'm not sure who that was. Was that Thomas Villano that had absolutely nowhere to go on that?
Yeah, that was Thomas Villano in the 35 for Moonshine Motor Club. Kind of
and Thomas
weird situation there.
He was just out there just trying to hang on, get a couple of points, you know, right in the back, and just talk about an absolute innocent victim.
Yeah,
Garth Griswold is also Garth Griswold being out of the race is chiming in the chat room. Garth, tough night, buddy. Go get him next time, man. Our hearts bleed for you.
Yeah, he's starting off kind of in a little bit of a hole, leaving Daytona and Atlanta. Didn't have the best Daytona either, and he's going to have to go to Coda kind of looking up now and try to work his way through that point standing field. It's going to be a tough one, but it is a long season. It's 26 race regular season.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of time left here in this regular season to get a bounce back. It's only 2 super speedways only.
And there, in last year, his luck kind of started the same way. You know, just Daytona's a crapshoot. Super Speedway, Daytona, Talladega.
Completely missed Daytona last year. Yeah, just didn't even have a chance to run at Daytona.
Yeah, you know, and just it's just an absolute crapshoot. And even this race now has become kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah, with those big incidents, it's definitely kind of flipped the running order of who we've kind of seen up front. Obviously, we've seen Pataska up front all night. He's done a very good job keeping that 17 clean. But a lot of these other guys that are up in the top 10 right now were not running in the top 10 in Stage 1 or, honestly, for a lot of Stage 2 as well.
And, you know, Vasquez, he's point racing right now, and he's looking good to get the last 2 stages. You know, she did finish second and got second place points, and looks like if he keeps going now, he's going to get the same thing, if not 1 stage more.
That was a little
and if
weird,
he gets 1 stage more, it's going to be a win.
That was a little weird break in the system.
Yeah, I don't think that was us. I think that was iRacing because the same thing happened on my computer earlier.
Yeah,
And it
that
was
also
definitely iRacing.
just completely broke the tower there, so we're gonna have to move over to the ticker for a second while it tries to sort itself out. I don't know really what happened there. It was kind of weird. I've never seen it where all the cars blinked out. There we go. We're back. But yeah, that was an interesting moment from iRacing there. But we're looking like we're all good. The field was making their way around some lap cars there. That's why we're seeing a little bit of breakupness here in that lead pack. And honestly, they could these guys in the back of this lead pack could lose here this main draft. They're stuck up high right now.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be, definitely. And somebody needs to make a move there so they don't lose each other.
And you see it starting to form more and more. It's Justin Bell right now on the top. He's got to get in front of Jim Mott there on the bottom. He's got to get the whole line in front of Jim Mott there on the bottom to stay in line with this draft. It looks like he's able to catch back on to John Connor's draft, but some of those other guys are losing out. And oh no, we got cars around in the back.
Oh, not again. I'm not sure who that was, but
I have to see here. I'm getting a report for, it looks like, oh no, Jim Mott, Tommy Carroll, and then you got the field coming in. Michael Deitch, unable to go anywhere. Nim Silva stuck on the top again. And I don't think the netcode's going to save him that time. Deitch might have just blown his engine as well there.
yeah, didn't see what happened with.
Going to try to get a better angle of this here as they go into 3 and 4.
Jim Mott's just chilling out down there on the bottom.
I think it all started when Tipton and Higginbotham moved down to the bottom. Carroll might have tried to follow. We'll have to see here. It looks like Mott. Oh, yeah, Carroll just actually loses it there.
Carroll gets a little bit loose and just Mr. Mott in that 19 has nowhere to go.
See Geisbrecht barely avoiding that incident on the outside. Yeah, that was just a unfortunate incident for both of those cars there. I originally thought it was going to be Carroll moving down following the 9, the 69, and the 99 there. But it was not. Bunch of cars going everywhere. Deitch just nowhere to go. Nim Silva nowhere to go. And might be night enders.
The 57 car didn't move the 19 car with that massive hit. But the other car just tapping it sends the car sideways.
Yeah, what an interesting interesting thing of events. Yeah, sometimes the wrecks aren't the most realistic type of wreck, but you know it does fun. the work. It gave them the damage. So that's kind of I guess all that really matters, making sure that the damage actually does happen.
What I think is funny is the full stands, but yet there's not one car in the parking lot.
Yeah, that is pretty funny as well. We got the 16 of William Ransone out front right now as they choose.
Ooh.
It's like Pataska
last second
goes to the
pick
outside.
by the 22 car.
So it looks like Hollywood Motorsports on the inside with Ransone and Phillips. Pataska in the Majors garage, and then Factory Motorsports of Nic Vasquez in second on that outside.
Now, Ransone, he's a rookie this year, correct?
He's running truck full-time, so he's technically not running like full-time cup schedule. He's just running as a all-star driver.
Okay.
So, but technically he would be a rookie in the Cup Series as a driver, yes. Just technically not a full-time rookie, so he doesn't get recognized in that class. But leading the field right now, got a teammate behind him. Noah Hamilton and that third car on the inside. You got Carlisle, and you see Thomas Wolfe creeping in the background as well. You know, he's looking for a win.
No, it's so strange to be looking at the front of the field and not seeing Mankey up there. Real horrible light night for him. He's just trying to hold on. I don't even know. Yeah, I think he's still running out there, but just a horrible night for him.
Yeah, just running around still, 9 laps down right now in 31st. Not really going to be able to make any positions, really. He'll be able to make one past Deitch after Deitch went out of the race there. Checkups here on the restart as we get going.
Huge accordion effect.
Didn't really get the jump that he wanted, and Pataska stays side by side with him as they go into 1 and 2.
These guys are really reading each other's restarts very well, and so far they're the only 2 guys that have started this thing side by side. Everybody else just seems to let one get away. Hauling off into turn 3 and 4. Look how he's doing everything he can to try to hold that car down.
Oh, Philip's got to be careful.
Oh, no! And there goes the 5 car.
That is not going to be a caution, as he did stay underneath the track, and it was a single incident. Oh, and he's still trying to hold on to it. Get it rolling.
That is so frustrating when you're trying to get the car gathered up and your tires are so hot, there's no traction. Get him back, keep him going so he stays on the lead lap, and he will come back.
I think he will, yeah. That was just a kind of unfortunate situation that he got put into. The car just started drifting up the corner, and Noah Hamilton couldn't lift really in the corner, and that was just contact between them.
It just happened so fast, and I'll tell you what, he's not going to have to wait that long for a caution flag, because these guys are all over each other.
They are. Everybody went down pit road there under caution, so everybody should be able to make it to the end of this race now, and it's going to be race time. They're going to go side by side. They're definitely going to be done with that single file. So it's a possibility that he's able to stay on this lead lap, but already 17 seconds behind these leaders, it's going to be difficult trying to stay on it unless this wreck happens very soon.
Well, right now we have about 35 laps to go. This is just a regular short track Saturday night now, and these guys are beating and banging on each other's back doors. You're starting to see that bottom line get a little more aggressive in the front 3 cars. You're seeing them wave back and forth. Blocking is going to start to come into effect now, and so are teammates. Who can run with each other and who has a teammate or somebody they're friendly with close.
Yep, and you see right now, it looks like 7 cars back to Thomas Wolf. Actually, that's 6. Back to Thomas Wolf on that bottom are fully clear right now. 2 by 2 behind them, but they're starting to catch up as the outside line is Foreman, led by William Ransone right now. Justin Bell there as well. A few guys trying to peak to move up there. Kind of indecisive.
Thomas Wolf had troubles earlier, fought his way back up front. He's always fast here. No matter when it's been, he's always been very fast. And now he's back up into that 6th spot. Would love to see him battle for the lead. We probably will be. Just over 30 laps to go now, and there really isn't much more to do. You kind of have to run what you have, don't you?
I think you do, unless a caution comes out at any point here. Maybe tires at the end of this thing could be a little useful. Obviously, there's still a little bit of sunlight out, so the track's still going to be somewhat warm. Obviously, it wasn't too hot out there in the air temperature. It was only about 66. But the handling could be a factor here at the end of this race if we see another yellow flag, which is very highly likely with 30 laps to go at a drafting track.
But unless it happens real fast, I don't think you're going to see many takers for new tires and a pit stop. I think right now, the track position is the most important thing. And with your tires, how much rubber they should have on them, it's not worth it yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's got to be probably in about maybe 10 laps if that caution does come out, which is 20 laps to go. And I would say that's kind of your sweet spot to take. Honestly, it's probably 2 tires here, since it's not as important to take those tires at this type of track, since you'll be relying on a lot of the momentum of other cars and not the momentum of your tires. Whereas like somewhere like Charlotte or Texas, so you kind of rely on your own car. Here you able to use that draft and you know, pull yourself forward and not have to worry about too much of the tire wear. So 2 tires definitely could work here. We do see pit stops for a caution.
I will tell you this, you will never see me take 2 tires, and I'll tell you why. I simply don't have the talent to just do 2 tires. I need all 4. I don't know what it is about 2 tires. No matter what kind of car I have, I'm horrible with just getting 2 tires. Obviously, it's my driving skill. compared to a lot of you young guys, you know, I have fun racing with you, but I have no expectations of winning. The top 15 is like a win to me with you guys. I just have so much fun.
Catching some lap cars. Alan Phillips, one of them, so he is going to lose his lap. But if he's able to stay in this draft here and stay in front of all the other cars that are 1 lap down, it looks like one other car is 1 lap down, so he has a good chance of staying on the lead lap here. But that 20 of James Nessa just did get past him for the lucky dog position, so he's got to battle for that spot. I think he was in a position like that last week as well, trying to battle for that lucky dog.
Yeah, just a tough break for him, man. He's running so well, and just having that almost got spun. It could have been a lot worse for him.
It definitely could have been. He could have came back up in the track and collected a lot of other guys and ended his race completely as well. But he's still able to run those laps and has a chance to get back on the lead lap here if a caution does come out. 26 to go, it's possible.
Vasquez still all over the back bumper of Pataska. Now, I don't think Nicky's trying to do anything fancy right now. I think he's just kind of waiting to the end of this thing before he makes his move. I think he's very content being in second place.
And we're seeing a 5-car breakaway with John Connor, the tail end of this pack now. They're starting to break away from the field. That's not what everybody else wants to see.
Yep. Connor tried to move.
Moves around some lap cars here. Noah Spalding gets out of the way. They're 3 wide right now. Higginbotham in the middle. Phillips still stuck on the outside. Oh, and they're net coating.
Oh, no, there it is. Oh. Oh, no, that's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. There it is. Oh, wow.
Mankey involved in that one. Nestor, Albertson, you see
Doing
Higginbotham, Harding Walker, yeah.
Harding Walker, I think there might have been 2 cars from Tipton Walker.
I'll have to go back and see that another time. It all started with Alan Phillips kind of getting stuck 3 wide on the outside. It looked like they were net coating there. Higginbotham kind of drifts up the track, and then
yeah,
they
it
were
looked like the 9 car
kind of.
The 9 car drifted up into the 5 car, overcorrected, came down, smacked the car behind him, and then went back up into the 5 car. And that's a tough break for the 5 car because he was running so well and still had a chance to stay in this thing.
See Cody Porter there, right in the middle of that mix-up as well. Zach Johnson trying to make it through. A lot of these guys trying to make it through.
Yeah. Well, I think the 9 car came down and hit Porter in the door. That pushed Porter down below, and then the 9 car overcorrected and went back up into the 5.
You see the onboard here of Zach Johnson, Hayden Higginbotham sliding down the track in front of him. Try to see if I can find oh, he did get hit here at the tail end of that.
Yeah, he got smoked by the 9 car.
The 20 as well. Villain of James Nesta. Gets big contact. Mankey into that outside wall. Big contact as well. And like we were saying, does anybody go down pit road here for tires? Yeah. I see Justin Bell did go down pit road. I don't know if that was because of avoiding the wreck. But nobody else decides to go down pit road other than these guys that were involved in this wreck. We see Barros, Joe Wright, Stuart Harding Walker, Zach Johnson, Tommy Carroll, Ray Gill, Noah Spalding, Tyler Justice, Nim Silva, Hayden Higginbotham, Alan Phillips, James Nesta, Stephen Mankey, Jim Mott, and Michael Deitch all on pit road right now, fixing damage.
A lot of some fast cars in there too. Some fast cars that were contenders earlier in the race.
Yeah, Yeah, they are, and the ticker switched over to 25 to go, now 24, and going to be 23 as they cross the line here. 10 cautions so far tonight. Dallas Pataska leading the field. He's got Nic Vasquez lined up in second behind him. Stephen Carlisle chooses the outside for row 1 here this time on this restart. What can that 81 do with help of Noah Hamilton there? See, Cody Porter's made his way back up as well.
They're going to have to get a really good jump on Pataska, no doubt about it. If you miss your restart, he's going to be gone. And the 22 car is very good at restarts as well. And I can guarantee he's going to be pretty close to the backside of Pataska. So if you're Carla, you have got to meet that restart of that 17 car. And, you know, it's great to see Carlisle even back up in front of this thing because he's had his issues tonight.
Yeah, you see a little bit of, looks like crinkling on that left side. It's mainly just, looks like tire rubber on the car on the front end. But there is a little bit of crinkling on that left side. I don't think it's going to affect that car too much.
And we haven't really talked about him, but he kind of snuck his way right up front, you know, had help with a couple of cautions, but he's always fast.
He is. He was very close to getting a few wins last season, was able to get a win in the All-Star Open to advance himself. But yeah, very fast guy. Just short.
There we go. Green flag is out. The 17 car and the 22 car do get a better jump, which is going to force that 81 car to fall back to at least 4th position before he can sneak back in. And that's exactly what he's able to do. 17 and the 22 are gone. They're going to try to get away from this pack as much as they can. Right now, they're looking at themselves out front with 2 cars side by side, and that's exactly what they want to see.
And don't look now. Here comes the duo of champions up on the top side. You got last year's full season champion and last week's Daytona 500 champion working together. Thomas Wolfe, Cody Porter, 94.04. They got also help of Boyd Hoggan right there as well.
Those are 3 good drivers together. 3 good drivers together are fast together.
They are, but we got 2 fast guys out front right now as well. But Pataska and Vasquez, obviously, Vasquez won last year's 500, so we got a bunch of super speedway talents out front right now.
Yep. Whoa, 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 getting a little squirrely with Wolfe.
20 to go here at Atlanta.
Yeah, Hamilton and Wolfe right now battling side by side. Where did Hamilton come from? He's been around more than once tonight, I think, and able to battle his way back up front.
Yeah, and we're back to side-by-side racing out front. Here comes Thomas Wolfe with help of Cody Porter on that outside lane. They got a huge run through 3 and 4 this time. Might have a shot at going for the lap here to the line. He will lead that lap over Pataska.
Very close. We got one in the wall.
I think that was Tipton in the background there. That's going to stack up that outside line behind him. That was Tipton on the outside there, just in front of Vince Mitchell.
That was a close call. That was the trouble spot last night. We've seen it be the trouble spot a couple of times tonight. And you see a couple of cars
doing a little tango.
Very aggressive moves in the back of the pack. 18 laps to go now. We're winding down. Guys are getting really aggressive. I don't think they should put away that yellow flag just yet.
Yeah, I don't know if Barney's going to be just done just yet. Thomas Wolfe did move down to the bottom in front of Pataska, so now Porter leads out front. He's got Boyd Hoggan and Ben Lawson just behind them, and look at William Ransone back up front into 4th on that outside line.
Porter's been waiting all night and has finally struck, and he brought Hoggan with him. Those 2 guys are extremely fast. We've seen it all night long. Now the 3 car. Those guys are clear of that bottom line. And you know what? All of a sudden, it's the outside line that it's stronger. And that's what Wolfe said last night, that the outside line always comes forward at the end.
And we were talking about that at the beginning of the broadcast as well, that the outside line was going to have that run off of 2 and off of 4. That just kind of gives you that little bit of advantage when you're side by side. and it's definitely starting to play a factor right now. So these guys might be learning a little something here for 16 laps. And when we get to that white flag, it's going to be all guns blazing.
But Pataska and Vasquez and Wolf on the bottom are not giving up. They're still pushing as hard as they can on that bottom line to start catching up, and it's starting to be a little bit successful.
It is. They do have more cars on the bottom as well, which will give them just a little bit more forward momentum. But having the outside have less cars sometimes also does help out them more. Lawson getting checked up just a little bit in front of Ransone. That's not a good spot to do in the middle of the corner. Ransone had to back out of it just a little bit. They do hold
Looked like
lead.
they might have had a little bit of a bump draft there, but it was a little bit too close for them to hold on to. Thought we were going to have another wreck, and that's what we do not want now with 14 to go.
Yeah, I think these guys want to get to that white flag because they know once the white flag comes out, it is official from there. The next flag will be the checkered no matter what happens. And if you're out front, you kind of want to see the field just disappear behind you.
Yeah, you do. They're doing everything they can to check out like they have before, but that bottom line is staying strong with the Wolf in the head of it. And he's coming out. Look at the run he just got on the bottom right there, being pushed by Pataska.
Big shove coming into 3 and 4 this time as they're making their way around that 20 of James Nesty. He gets out of the way. We stay side by side 2 wide for 12 more laps here in Atlanta. Are we going to see another caution? I don't know, honestly. It's going to be interesting. These guys are starting to dance around just a little bit more, which makes me a little nervous about that. But they are the Cup Series drivers, so we know they got a lot of talent in them. They can keep it going.
Wolf, Pataska, and Vasquez starting to pull out a little bit on that bottom line, but it seems as if when they enter turn 3 and 4, like they scrub off a lot more speed than they do in 1 and 2, and that allows the outside lane to kind of gain some ground. But now you're starting to see that bottom line pull away a little bit.
We are. It's now 4 cars clear. Noah Hamilton, that number 1 on the bottom, clear of Cody Porter now. Here comes John Connor, going to be clear as well. They're going to have to form back up on that outside line. They're starting to lose the formation. And Thomas Wolf, Dallas Pataska, Nic Vasquez, 1, 2, 3, clear out front right now, followed by that one of Hamilton. Hamilton's got a teammate of Geisbrecht in the top 10 as well right there in that 48. So that could be a little thing to watch out for here. A lot of Chevys up in this top 10 as well, obviously. Jim Mott stuck up high as they're going around a lap car.
Hopefully everybody gets through there. I tell you one thing about Geisbrecht, he's another guy that's had multiple issues tonight, getting caught up in other people's issues, and he still fought his way back, never gave up, and look at him right now. He's in the top 10.
Yeah, and you see this battle for what is potentially the win here tonight. If everything stays green, 9 laps to go here in Atlanta. Right now, Thomas Wolf, Dallas Pataska out front. They are pushing in, shoving right now. If it was not go time 5 laps ago, it's go time now.
Yeah, these guys have given up. The flags are down right now.
Move to the
all
outside.
or nothing.
Woo.
Wow, and oh boy, man. Vasquez just went for the lead right there. He just has had enough. He wants this really bad. Now he's up pushing Pataska. He knows Pataska's really fast. And Vasquez also likes that higher line. So we'll see if now all of a sudden that line is the one that's just moving away.
They decide to move down. That might leave him out to dry here because Pataska's going to move back up high. It does. Cody Porter now going to be in line with Pataska. Nic Vasquez is going to have to do battle on the bottom here. 7 laps to go now here in Atlanta. Here comes Ransone back in the middle, trying to force a lane here. Decides better of it.
Pataska just played his... Oh, no! There we go!
John Connor goes around in the back. We're going to stay green. It's only 1 car.
Well, I can't believe that wasn't bigger. These guys coming across to 6 laps to go. Pataska just faked Nic Vasquez out, and that put Vasquez back in 6th position.
4-car breakaway out front now.
the 17 car forced Vasquez to make a move high or low, and he forced him down low and took advantage of that. That was a very experienced move by a guy that knows what he's doing. And now Vasquez only has 6 laps to catch back up to him.
Yeah, and that 4-car breakaway might be the nail in the coffin for the rest of this field unless they can catch up with 4 laps to go. They're starting to pull back just a little bit. Do they have enough time, though? Dallas Pataska, Cody Porter out front.
They'll have enough time to catch him. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to do anything with him. Plus, too, if Vasquez right there trying to go high, somebody jumps in front of him, not sure who it is. I
Boyd
think it was
Hoggan
Wolf,
in the 96.
Maybe? 96, yeah. And these guys are going to try to push each other. 5 laps to go coming to the flag right now.
They hit the line now, 4 to go here in Atlanta. It's starting to pick up, and we're getting a little wonky and wild here. It's single file, but they're not really trying to stay single file. They're trying to build these runs as much as they can. You got guys like Vince Mitchell in the top 10, Cody Porter, Caleb Tipton, Noah Hamilton, Ben Lawson, all looking for some wins here at Atlanta. And they're all chasing down Dallas Pataska in the 17. Going to be 3 laps to go.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get past that 17 car. Pataska is just so strong. These guys behind them, they don't have a dance partner to go high with. They have to go high to beat them. But
a little bit of
you
contact
don't know
in
if
the
you're going to get anybody. If you're in second, oh boy, we got a couple of cars getting together. Everybody's staying in motion. We're staying green.
Tipton going to lose out on that. He falls back. 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go.
I don't know how this is going to finish here, Bill. This is going to be a very crazy race. We see a move by Hoggan here. Unable to build that run, though. He's going to have to build it here on the backstretch.
I think Hoggan would have had Vasquez if he stuck with it, but he kind of gave it back. Vasquez still trying to battle back. He was in 8th position about 3 laps ago.
Here comes
trying
Ransone
real
now.
hard to battle for it.
Ransone, only car on the outside by himself. We're coming to the white flag. This thing's going to be official. We're running to the white and checkered. Dallas Pataska, Cody Porter, Ransone going to get turned around in the back. And it's going to be it's going to be a 3-car battle here to the lead. To the line, I should say. Nic Vasquez has a shot to try to run down these guys. John Connor going to try to get out of the way of this lead battle. Cody Porter, Dallas Pataska, Boyd Hoggan here going into 3 and 4. Lined up.
The 4-car
back to back.
The 4-car trying to make it 2 in a row.
He goes to the outside. Dallas Pataska side by side. Cody Porter. And to the line. It's close. It says Pataska, but it looked like Cody Porter.
I thought it was Porter. What a finish to the by 0.01. The margin of victory.
We got to look at it again because that was a very, very close finish. Obviously, Atlanta gives us a very nice finish line here. We get a finish line cam, so we'll see them coming into the picture here in just a second to figure out who won this thing.
I am speechless right now. Oh.
And yeah, that's just
you can't even.
Yeah.
How can? Wow. I don't know, man. Wow. No, I finally saw it that time. And yeah, he was in front of him by
just a nose.
Wow. But what an attempt to make it 2 in a row by Porter.
I don't know why it won't give me the little thing, so we'll just do it manually in iRacing. And yeah, just right there you see the difference of victory. There it is.
Absolutely unbelievable.
That is definitely
0.01 second difference.
Another finish that is just right there, and this time Cody Porter on the losing end of that. He'll finish second tonight. So Dallas Pataska gonna find himself in victory lane tonight. What a finish!
Yeah, and that was hard-earned one by Pataska, but you know what? He did it with style.
He did, and that was just a great way to hold off that 04's move to the outside. Just did it long enough to stay out front. We'll go ahead and start up our post-race interviews and talk to our top three here. It's going to start with Boyd Hoggan. And, yeah, just what a finish. Let's go ahead and drag the driver of the 96 up to the booth here and see what he has to say after tonight's race. What a finish, man. I just I don't even know what to say there, Bill.
that was the last two races we've had here in Atlanta. Last year with Joe Wright finishing sideways. You know, that's the closest race I've seen in iRacing since I've been doing it.
Yeah,
that was unreal.
Let's go ahead and drag up the driver of the 96 now. Looks like he is ready for his post-race interview. I mean, holy cow. Hey there, boys. It's the boys up at the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. What a finish here tonight. You're coming home a third place finish. Wanted to ask you how the car felt out there tonight. Obviously, we saw you kind of working up and down throughout the field tonight, and there at the end, able to break away with those other two out front, and just short on coming home in victory lane here tonight.
Yeah, setup wise, I feel like the car was about as close to perfect as you can get. Once we got out front, we could kind of control the lanes and do whatever we wanted, which is kind of what happened at the end. I wish it didn't really work out the way it did, where the fourth car kind of got pulled back there, Nick, because that killed anything I could have done for the win. But at the end of the day, like we worked pretty good with Cody the entire day because he was by himself and he was pushing me really good at the start, so I got him kind of on the plan, and then I end up like we got wrecked kind of mid race there and had to fix damage all the way up until that last caution and just fight our way back up through, but got it all fixed there right at the end of that yellow, and Cody and I worked back up through the field really well together, like just kind of picking them off one by one. And I mean, it flowed real nice for not even communicating with each other. Like it was all the right moves at the right time. He was doing everything that I'd do if I was by myself, and it kind of let the flow go of it really nice. And then we got back to Dallas and Nick and those guys, and it was on from there because everybody's we're all on the same plane there, so it was good.
Yeah. Hey, Boyd, one question: how do you pronounce the last name?
Hoggan. Hoggan. Yeah.
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. And whereabouts is Royston, British Columbia?
Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island. I will be up there in January. What an incredible area it is up there. And this is how you can tell somebody from the Northeast. You can tell how far up the Northeast they live by answering this simple question. Is Bigfoot real?
Oh man, I'm all the way out west. I think I don't think Bigfoot's real, honestly. I think that's a little too far out there. Aliens are definitely real. Bigfoot, I don't think so.
You're too far south. You're too far south. You go up north into Alaska and all that area, way up north, and there's no doubt about it, man. They're convinced out there. But I love
I
your
believe
area.
that.
Absolutely beautiful country. Congratulations on the win tonight. You had some bad luck getting caught up, in that wreck, and you fought back, and just a great championship looking run for you tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, that'd be the plan. No, it was a good team win for sure. Glad Dallas could get it, and thank you guys for putting the show on. Thank you to Wifey for watching and everybody else, and thank you to everyone at Legacy, Reaper Speed Lab, the guys at Factory, the league team there. Stephen Mankey picked me up when not a lot of people were, and that kind of sucked. But glad that I'm with the people that I am. Sorry for the few people that think I junked the field there. Hopefully the replay was pretty good. I had a car like inside of me, shoving me up that caused the whole thing. But I guess some people didn't see that.
Yeah, it was a crazy race out there for sure. So it's gonna be a lot of I think studying for sure on just getting that super speedway style racing down. But one more question before I let you go. Actually, heading next week to COTA. Obviously, with an open car, you'll be a open entry. Wanted to ask you if you were going to make that run. I believe you will be. But
Yeah, I think actually, yeah, um, I gotta thank the man in the 23 for that. Uh, I don't have to queue in next week.
oh,
So
there
I'll
you
be in the
go.
23 car at Coda. Excited about that. Excited to go at it. I think Dallas probably your early favorite for that, but I'm trying to put in the work to give him a show. I know Xander's been working pretty hard at it too. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll have to
All
see.
right.
Well, before we let you go, you got any last words to say? Any final acknowledgments or thanks to give out to anybody that you missed?
Yeah, Chad Genningsman for putting together the queue set here for Daytona. It wasn't stressful at all to queue in. Dallas, I think, almost got the pole there, so that would have been perfect. But and Cabe and Xander for running the A opens to get the car right. We sucked there on Saturday, and then the last 2 days I feel like we're probably the best car in the field, and felt like we were tonight. So thank you to those guys, everyone at Legacy for all the work they've been putting in. They've been busting ass here lately, and it's gonna show. So I'm excited.
All right. Well, congratulations on your third place tonight, and we'll most likely see you probably in Victory Lane once again in the Truck Series very soon. As I know that we have an off week there this week, but first 2 wins of the season there.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of
We're
momentum.
looking forward to Vegas.
There you go. We'll let you go enjoy the rest of your night, and once again, congratulations on that P3.
Thank you guys.
So what a run from Hoggan there at the
Yeah,
end.
you know how you can tell he's new to the league.
How can you
can
tell?
he's new. You can tell he's new because he slipped out that his wife watches, so now we can make fun of him even more.
Oh, that's a good
Don't
one. That's a
don't
good
tell
one,
us
Bill.
information like that.
All jokes, all
Oh.
jokes. But let's go ahead and talk to our second place finisher, Cody Porter, last week's winner. He's going to be looking very good at points heading into Coda next week. Let's go ahead and see what the driver of the 04 has to say. Hey there, Cody. It's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, this week we're going to be talking to you on the back end of what happened last week, just short by a 1/100th of a second this week, compared to last week where you were just above by 1/100th of a second. Obviously, huge points for you going into Coda. Wanted to ask you kind of how the car felt all night and where you think you could have kind of made that move just a little bit earlier, or maybe whatever you could have done to get that 0-4 back in victory lane.
Yeah, car felt great. I think, like I said last week, today was going to be more about just being aggressive and trying to get points where I can. And I think I did that. I think I got 5th in the first stage, and I won the second stage. So, pretty good points day, and then put myself in position to get the win at the end. I knew being P2, I was in the exact same spot as I was at Daytona, that I knew that I could pull off the exact same maneuver to get the win. But I saw there was a lap car in the backstretch, and it kind of threw off my mojo. But I still thought I could maybe pull it off. But I don't know if maybe Dallas came up or I came down. I think I came down into Dallas's right rear, and I didn't want to spin him, so I just turned back up. But I think if I wouldn't have hit him, I think I might have got the win there anyways. But he put off an amazing race, so did Boyd. So he earned that win for sure.
Yeah, we saw you guys break away there on that last lap as it kind of just chaos kind of broke off. I believe there was a wreck going into turn 1, and then you guys caught kind of a few lap cars that kind of bunched it up and broke everybody apart. And you guys all broke away there at the end. It was kind of happening all night as well. I wanted to ask you what you thought about that, as that kind of momentum, maybe you could bring that to Atlanta when you come back here in the summer.
Oh, for sure. I think you'll see the same kind of people up front because this track isn't so much like Daytona, where it takes a little bit of skill to time your pushes, to time your runs. Handling does come into play. You can't just take a Daytona setup here and go run up front. As I have an entirely different setup here than I did Daytona, for example. So I think you'll see the same people up front come next time, whenever that is.
I believe that's in June or maybe July, possibly. But I'll
For sure.
pass it over to Bill here and see what he has to say. Give you a few questions.
Cody, we've been talking a lot lately. Excellent run tonight. How difficult was it for you to come through the field?
I wouldn't say it was difficult. I would say it was more patience than anything. You can't be too aggressive where you put yourself or someone else in a bad spot because the track is not wide. It's still this. I think it's actually more narrow than Old Atlanta was. So while you can go 3 wide, um, there is not much room to actually, go side to side. So if you put someone 3 wide and they tag the wall, it might bend up the whole field. And I think that actually happened a few times. Not
Yep.
to anyone's
Yep.
major mistakes, just it's tie racing. I mean, you saw
Yeah.
it. Um, so I wouldn't say it was necessarily hard. I would just say it was a little bit stressful, if anything.
It's a very good way to
Well,
put it.
congratulations on a second place finish, and I'll be in your neighborhood probably Friday night. So keep it warm down there because it's not too warm up here in Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm coming down for the Cars Tour race.
Oh, okay, nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, buddy. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
before we let you go, any final statements or any final acknowledgments? Thanks, anybody that you want to give? Just anybody shout outs to, I should say.
Thanks to you guys for the stream. Again, I always love watching the pack. You guys put on an amazing show. I gotta thank LR Speedco for the great setup. I think we put on a pretty good show there. Me, Dallas, and Boyd, they're on different setups, obviously, but I think that was a pretty awesome show. Um, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll let you go and go celebrate and go get locked in for a road course here at the third race of the season. It's going to be a big shift there.
That is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It is. I'm gonna definitely love watching it. So we'll let you go get ready for that. And once again, congratulations on your second place here tonight.
Heck yeah, thank you, gentlemen.
We'll see it.
So Cody Porter gets
Yeah,
a first and a second to start the season. That's huge for him. Probably will be the points leader.
Can you imagine the momentum that guy has right now going into a road course where he excels at?
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to be huge for him. I don't even know what type of momentum he's going to have going into, honestly, the rest of the season. I don't even think just Coda. I think at this rate, it's going to start flying through the rest of the season as well. We kind of saw him come in late last year, and he was able to stay out front. The Cup Series only got, I believe, 1 win or 2, possibly. But now it looks like this year he's definitely got that speed locked in the Cup car. So he's going to be a threat out here, and he's only a rookie.
Yeah. He has so much mojo right now. He could go out clubbing without Aqua Velva and be successful. So looking forward to seeing him kill it next week too on the road course. But right now, let's get the winner up here.
Yeah, and he actually should be our true points leader. I think Porter is probably going to be second because Pataska was leading the points coming into tonight.
Leading into it.
So a win tonight definitely going to help him out. Let's go ahead and bring him up and see what he has to say in that number 17 car. Hey there, Dallas. It's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How we doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. I'm sure you're doing good as well. That finish, what a finish. I mean, just to get it started, rip the Band-Aid off. What a finish. Great job holding off Cody Porter there. You know, last week, obviously, he won that 500 at Daytona and able to hold him off at a similar style track, similar style move. Wanted to ask you how the car felt out there and how you were able to do that.
Yeah, honestly, the car felt great. I got to give a huge shout out to Boyd. We were working together on the car. He put together a great piece here. I can't say we wouldn't have been here without it, but it definitely made it a lot easier. The car was hooked up and on rails. I got to thank Cody for not completely junking me at the end there. I think he was pretty tame about the moves he was making, so I appreciate that. Glad to be able to put it in victory lane. I'm sure it helped that he had won last week to give me a little bit of a cushion there, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, good race overall. Can't really complain. He got good stage points. So for a track that I was really not looking forward to or really did a whole lot of prep for, I'm very happy with this as we head into Coda next week.
Yeah, and
Nice.
one thing I'll say before I ask you my second question is welcome to the intro, as that finish is definitely going to be making it into the intro of the Cup Series broadcast. For sure.
That was
good
great.
deal.
But obviously, as you mentioned, heading to Coda next week, we've kind of asked all these guys that finish behind you It's going to be a different style of racing. We got right turns next week, obviously. It's a whole different shift of style, and with the track change as well. Wanted to ask you kind of how you felt about going out there and what your car is probably going to be able to do and what you feel confident in at COTA.
Yeah, I think the new layout is definitely pretty interesting. Personally, I'd like to run the full layout. I think we're cutting out a lot of fun sections of the track, so
Me
that's
too. Me
unfortunate.
too.
But, oh well, at the end of the day, we're going to a road course that isn't Watkins Glen or something that's like really kind of a gimmick, in my opinion, for the series. These cars can handle a real road course. Let's put it on a real road course. So, I like road courses. I have a lot of experience both in NASCARs on road courses and actual road cars, whether it be prototypes or GT3s. So I'm very comfortable there. I'm fully expect to be, I will say, near the front. Who knows what will show up with what kind of speed, but I'm very confident that I'm going to be happy with the car we bring.
All right, and I'll pass it over to Bill here real quick to see what he's got for you.
First of all, Dallas, congratulations on an excellent run. What would you change about this race?
Honestly, I don't know if I would change a whole lot. When it comes to these super speedway races, this season has probably been the most put together I've had. Stage. I guess the only thing I can really point out is I did have some damage in the middle of the race. We got caught up, a little beaten and banged up, but we were able to get that fixed up and recover. So I guess if I were to nitpick, I would say, hey, let's avoid that damage, keep it clean, and stay up front, not have to kind of work ourselves back up. But thankfully, we had the speed and the runs in the right spots to get back up there and not have it be too much of a hindrance.
Nice. Great job tonight. And also, Boyd let it slip that his wife watches the broadcast and stuff. So I'm going to need you to DM me with any nicknames and stories about him. So that's how it works here in Crown Jewel. We have nothing better to do with our lives.
Yeah, we need some
Real
stories
strong,
to talk about.
yeah, absolutely. And a real strong performance. You've got a lot of momentum, and so doesn't Cody Porter behind you. He won last week, second this week. He loves road courses. You love road courses. How much momentum do you feel right now going into next week?
I feel a lot, honestly. Like I said, I went into this event with zero expectations. My entire goal was let me have a somewhat clean car and make it to the last lap and see what happens. And it just so happened that I was able to hold the lead a lot. Factory guys, we were working well together. A little bit of a tech alliance on the speedway tracks. So it's been working out well, and here we are. So going into COTA, I feel as good as I can. It's probably one of my strongest combos outside of like a Richmond or a Martinsville. So we'll see what happens. I respect the other guys in here. We got a lot of talented folks, but hey, so am I. So we're gonna go out there, put on a show.
Well, there you
Nice.
go. Well, before we let you go celebrate this win here tonight, and also go get ready for COTA next week. Any last final acknowledgments, thanks, or any shout-outs that you want to give?
Yeah, just got to thank all the guys that helped get it done. Boyd Hoggan, Nic Vasquez did a great job pushing, all the factory guys over there working together. Got to shout out my Majors Garage guys and everything they do, both the team and everyone over at majorsgarage.com. They do an excellent job. Check them out, and hopefully we'll be talking to you guys soon.
Yeah, our lead sponsor of this Cup Series here.
Hey, Dallas, tomorrow morning, why don't you go down to Rosie's and grab a sausage, egg, and cheese on me, would you?
There
You got it.
Are you impressed that I knew Rosie's?
I guess so, yeah. You do your research. I like it. I expect more.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week, hopefully at COTA.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, man, what a race tonight. My nickname's Bill the Masshole. Why? Well, because my name's Bill. I'm from Massachusetts, and well, to be honest with you, hang out with me for a couple of hours. I never shut up. I was speechless after tonight's finish. An amazing race by these guys. Very entertaining. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and we'll go through the final results here to see everybody that finished here tonight at Atlanta. 40 cars, a full field. Pataska leads the way, followed by Porter and Hoggan that we talked to earlier. And then you see Nic Vasquez recovers for a 4th place finish. Kind of
Great run.
stayed with that draft there and that breakaway, but not really able to stay as close as he wanted to have a shot there at the end. Ben Lawson comes on 5th. Good top 5 there.
Great job for him.
Number 3 driver, Justin Bell, Noah Hamilton, Pete Morales, and then Caleb Tipton and Stephen Carlisle round out that top 10. So a good top 10 run there for the ERT 81. See Thomas Wolf slips to 11th there. Doesn't fall as far back as he could have, so it's definitely a save there for that 94. Run. See Geisbrecht finishes 12th. Good run for him. William Ransone got wrecked into turn 1 there. Finishes 13th into that last lap. Nichelle Condor in that Xandervolt Unlimited machine finishes 14th after that EOL to start the race. Kind of had a up and down race. Didn't really talk about him too much after he got that EOL to start. You see Albertson in 15th, Tommy Carroll, Ray Gill in 16th and 17th. Last year's winner, Zach Johnson, finishes in 18th after being collected in a few incidents as well. Well, not really a night that he wants to really remember, I would say, for sure. Just behind them, it looks like we have Joe Wright, Nathan Barrows rounding out that top 20. So Joe Wright, we talked to him in stage 2. He was doing a good job at leading the race, and just it kind of slipped out of his hands there, falls to 19th. And going to go to Coda, and I believe that Coda is one of his stronger tracks, too. He did run very well, I believe, last year there, so that's a good shot to get a good finish there with a lot less chaos going on around him.
One driver that I'm going to see have a solid finish is, I believe it was in 14th, Cameron Amberson. I'm not sure how to pronounce it as.
Albertson in it. He finished
Albertson.
15th. Yep.
Finished 15th.
Top 15
I was watching him in car with him during practice and qualifying, and he kind of didn't have the best qualifying run. He was faster and a little bit faster in practice and had a better line, in my opinion, in practice, but he's on the track. I'm up in the booth, and there's a reason for that. But to see him, he struggled early. I think he got caught up in one of the wrecks. We really didn't talk about him much, but a good solid top 15 for him.
Yeah,
and
he was
good for him.
Kind of just riding around there in the back. He definitely was collected in one of those wrecks. I remember. It might have been the one that actually took out his teammate Garth Griswold. If I
believe it was
right. But going through the rest of the field here tonight, you see Stuart Harding Walker just outside the top 20 and 21st. Nim Silva falls to 22nd. Tyler Justice filling in for Xander Short, finishes 23rd here tonight. Noah Spalding is going to be 24th, and that is the final car on the lead lap here tonight. So 25th, Vince Mitchell, 1 lap down. John Connor, 26th. Stephen Makey, Jim Mott, James Nesta, followed by Hayden Higginbotham, round out that top 30. Alan Phillips fell all the way down to 31st after going a lap down and getting involved in that wreck with Hayden Higginbotham there. Michael Deitch falls to 32nd. Bellinger to 33rd. A bunch of these guys going to be in a big hole going to Coda. Thomas Filano, 34th. Jonathan Lager, 35th. Garth Griswold in 36th. And we got 4 more cars just behind these guys. They said full field. Yeah, it's just a lot of guys. Corey Mott, boy, 37th. Josh Stoltz, 38th. Cody Leach in 39th. He joined the race late. Couldn't really make too much positions with that. And then Mason Hoffner rounds out the field here tonight.
Man, it was a tough night for some very fast drivers. Walker Harding, another guy very fast, way back in the pack. Mankey just had a miserable night today. He's always extremely fast. There's so many guys that just struggled, and like we said at the beginning of the race, when there's a wreck here, it's usually pretty big, and we saw a couple of them tonight.
We did, and it kind of happened out of turn 4, really, it seemed like. Both of them really just broke out with either a car getting loose or a car getting a bad bump, or we're going 3 wide, and it kind of just didn't work out too well for those guys. And some of them able to recover with damage and salvage a decent finish tonight and head to Coda with not too much of a head on the ground, I would say. I don't even know if that's a saying, but making it up as we go. But
Well,
yeah, what a race tonight. That's all I can say.
It was an incredible race, and we're going to have some highlights from this race. Some video from this race will be in our highlights, for definitely, no doubt about it. But next week, speaking of making up a plan and making up words, I'm going to be making up all kinds of new sayings next week because I have never called a road race in my life, and I'm not used to driving left and right. Up
Oh
here in
yeah.
Massachusetts, we have rotaries. A lot of people call them roundabouts. We don't know what we're doing. I mean, left and right is going to be difficult next week, but we have a lot of great drivers, a lot of fast drivers that are looking forward to it. And I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of familiar voices in Victory Lane next week.
Yeah, and my team might be Hollywood Motorsports, but I lived in Texas my entire life, so we're coming to my house, and we're gonna have a fun time, and we're gonna teach you some Texas style.
Nice. Well, get some barbecue going too. So
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man. So next week, Coda.
It is
It's gonna be
Coda
interesting.
next week. We'll have a 2-race schedule next week. Only the Dash Series and Cup Series will be making their way to Texas next week down in Austin. But after that, we'll be heading out west to Phoenix with all 4 of the major series here in the Crown Jewel Racing League. We'll have ARCA on Sunday at Phoenix, and then all the way through to Wednesday Cup Series racing at Phoenix as well. So that's going to be a fun week, and then I'd say that's really the full kickoff of this season. Obviously, we got the 500 underway. We got Atlanta underway. But I'd say once we break that 3rd race, that's definitely once you know that the season is fully underway for sure.
That's what it feels it. Yep. So, all right. Congratulations. Awesome job in the booth tonight being our producer. I really appreciate you inviting me up in the booth, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, of course, me too. I had a blast up here tonight. Obviously, very grateful of you coming up here and helping. Had a lot of great insight. Had a lot of fun tonight, and I think it's gonna be a fun booth for the rest of the season for sure. And honestly, we might also have a few other guys joining us here and there. So we'll kind of see how it goes throughout the rest of the season. But for tonight, we're gonna be signing off. We'll see you guys next week in Austin on Wednesday night. Thomas will be up in the booth on Tuesday for the Dash Series race, and then me and Bill back up in the booth Wednesday night, and then we get full swing of racing after that. So we'll see you guys next week at Austin. It's been the boys up in the booth, Nathaniel Campbell and Bill Martin, and we'll see y'all next week for Crown Jewel Racing in Austin.
Have a good night.